What's up, everybody? Welcome back to your favorite wrestling podcast. It is the Monday Night Wave, baby. And we back. Another week of wrestling. Another week of the pod. Another week of these grabs. I go by Jay, a.k.a. the Lonely One, a.k.a. the Babyface, a.k.a. Pod Breaker, Podson Reed, Pod Man Page, Pod Will Jacob Friedman, because I pod better than you and you know it, a.k.a. Misrespect the Jumpers in the building. And without further ado, I'm going to pass it off to my illustrious co-host, the heroic one. Please take it away from here.
He is a wild card. He is the king of gorgeous. He is Mr. Sexy Ass Lottery. He is hero, and I am he, and I am also glad to be back, but I am also not alone.
That's right. He is not alone. I am the final boss, and I want all of your souls. Pause. Where applicable. The prognosticator is back. The oracle. What's happening? I see things before they happen. I call all true saying tales. Let's get it.
You know what time it is, people. It's time to get into this news cycle. It's a smaller week for news, but we got some stuff we can talk about real quick. Right off the gate, we found out that Rey Fenix is officially signed with WWE. We should have already known because, you know, the vignette started last week where people start speculating and whatnot. This week we get him in another vignette with the Rockefeller sign.
It's the Rock in here.
Yeah, Rock Boy's in the building tonight. And it seems like he's going to be starting on Smackdown. How do we feel about Rey Fenix being separated from Penta for the time being and him being on Smackdown?
Well, honestly, I think we should ask you that question first. So, Jay, how do you feel about Penta and Rey Fenix being separated at first?
I get it. You want to brand them a little bit differently. You don't want them to come in and be exactly who they were in AEW. That's fine. However, I do hope that we can get them in the tag team picture at some point. You know, Motor City Machine Guns versus, you know, Lucha Bros, Profits versus Lucha Bros. There's a lot of Bloodline versus Lucha Bros. There's a lot of potential things that we can do. As far as like individual success, I think Rey Fenix is going to be fine. I think he's going to do really well. Rey is a lot more agile than Penta. Personally, Penta has a better look. He's more appealing. You know, Penta just looks fucking cool. But Rey's the better, like, wrestler, in my opinion. That's just me personally. But yeah, I'm down with it. I'm cool with it. As long as he's happy where he's at and they use him properly, he's being booked properly, the storyline's going somewhere, and he's not in Legato, you're good. You're good in my book, buddy.
Word.
I'll go and LWO.
And LWO. Keep them separate.
Well, LWO's on Monday Night Raw, so we're good. I'll go because you guys kind of actually touched this a little bit on one of the episodes I was gone on. But, so yeah, Penta has a really cool ass look. And I feel like there's a part of them that didn't know, like, he would hit so hard on his, like, debut and a couple other episodes. So I think what they're trying to do is like, let's keep them separate for a second, like, or just, you know, for a while or just a little bit. Who knows the actual timeline? But as far as SmackDown goes, there's no masked luchadors because I definitely consider all of Legato luchadors as far as like their resume and what they've been through and where they worked at. But yeah, there's no masked luchadors, and I do think I feel like the end game is for sure them tagging together. Like that's the end game. I think like to me, like I guess the best way to put it is like it's almost like the opposite of what's going on with the Usos right now. It's like we've seen the Usos together for so long now. They're finally branching out. They're like with the Lucha Bros. They're starting off with them branching out, and then we'll see them like come together. I think is what's going to happen, if that kind of makes sense. But yeah, I'm not opposed to them starting off separately because it's like Penta is fucking hot. Like he on almost a weekly basis, like he's one of the coolest. He's dead ass one of the coolest looking characters in all of wrestling right now. Like from the entrance, just the look, like he's not your typical looking luchador. His moveset, like he still hasn't even like fully went into his bag. In like from anyone who's watched his AEW run or his Lucha Underground run, like we know his bag is. We know he can go deeper in the bag as far as his.
If he needs to, too.
If he
may not need to.
I mean, like he just had a match on Monday Night Raw, which was no holds bar or something like that.
Yeah.
And still didn't do nothing crazy, but was still a really hard ass hitting match and still a really good match. So it's like,
Yep.
it's and I think he's still working with a torn bicep, which I have no idea why, but I think he's still working with a torn bicep. So maybe that's also why they're not like going too crazy. But spoiler, we'll talk about the end of Raw, but like he's already in like a title program essentially, which we also talked about last week. So yeah, I don't mind them starting off separately, but I do think the end game is for sure them going to be linking up. And being the only masked luchador on SmackDown is not a bad look for Ray, especially speaking on like what you said about his moveset. We'll see what he's like on the mic.
Do you think that's a reason why he keeps the name? Is he going to be Ray Phoenix on SmackDown? Would that keep you separate from Rey Mysterio on Raw, or do we're still just going to shorten it into Phoenix?
They might call him just Phoenix, but then again, like honestly, that's a really good question. They might just call him Phoenix. If you think about the old VKM shit, where it's like no one could have the same name, but then again, like in this Triple H era, we got two Brawns. We've had a couple of like things that are like really close. Like as far three Brawns. We got Bronson Reed, you got Braun Strowman, you got Braun Breaker. Like in VKM era, that would never happen. It's too similar. So there's a chance he will be Ray Phoenix, but there's also a chance he might just be Phoenix, which is fine too, because Phoenix is a cool last name. Like you can make X-Men ties to it if you want, whatever the fuck. So yeah.
And plus everybody knows Rey Mysterio. Even if you said it's two Rays, we all know who the fuck Rey Mysterio is. Like there's no way like that doesn't look like Rey Mysterio. It's like we know, bro. Like you don't have to change your name. Rey Mysterio's a fucking legend. Like,
and they could always change that E to an A if they really wanted to.
Yeah, exactly.
If they really wanted to.
Ray Charles Phoenix. We can.
No, just play on the Phoenix with the sun and like sun rays. Like they could make it work. You just need someone who's into astrology. You got to get a witch from Arizona, like Glendale or something.
Get a witch from Arizona. Jesus Christ. WWE's inducting. Yeah, you anything you want to add, DT?
Do they change his name completely? Is he introduced with an entirely new name that is not associated with Phoenix or Ray Phoenix?
Have we seen any of the AEW talent come over and completely change their name all the way?
No. Oh, well, Lex is King. Lex is King is the only one.
True.
I think.
But also, Pillman Jr., I don't know if he wanted to I don't know if he wanted to go by Brian Pillman because his dad was also Brian Pillman.
Right.
And it's kind of hard to like live up to your dad's legacy and shit like that. So maybe that is the only one, but I think it was different reasoning. And Ricky just changed his last name, so I don't know. That is a good question though, DT. They could change it all together.
I feel like you keep Phoenix. I feel like you keep Phoenix. It's just cool, and it's like the way it's spelled is cool looking. It has an X in there. We all know what like the letter X is a cool letter. Like ever since the 90s, it's a cool letter. I feel like they do keep Phoenix. But honestly, the question that DT proposed is actually it is a good question.
Just a thought.
Interesting. All right. We got WWE inducting Lex Luger into the WWE Hall of Fame. Shout out to Lex Luger. If you are not familiar with Lex Luger, he's a goddamn legend. Probably one of the greatest wrestlers in WCW versus NWO. Because I definitely use Lex Luger a lot. He was that guy for sure. The controversy around this is that he wants to be introduced or inducted by Sting, right? There's a lot of talk about whether that's going to happen or not. A lot of people saying it should happen. I'm going to go on the record here and say that it should happen. That's his best friend or one of his closest friends. If he wants him inducted, we should probably figure out how to make that happen. However, I don't know if that's going to be a possibility.
Yeah. Actually, D, you go first.
Even before getting inducted, how about the fact that he's working on standing and walking on his own?
Walking?
Yeah.
Clap that up.
Shout out to DDP Yoga.
For sure.
Lex was able to make some progression, and I think if I remember watching the video correctly, he stood up and gave Cody a hug, which was crazy. If I remember watching the video correctly, but should he get inducted by Sting? Yeah, he should. Will he? I don't know. Because we know who it's up to. So.
Yeah, so yeah, my answer is honestly either or I'm fine with. Like if it would be cool because that's what he would like. There's a lot of but they didn't do this because I guess like because during Sting's like retirement run, like he had people post videos, and I guess they wanted Lex to do it, but Lex didn't do it, and I think it was because, or at least some of the sickos are saying it was because of WWE. But to my knowledge, Lex just got this Legendaries contract like this last year and a half or so. I don't know. I'm not really sure. If it happens, that would be great, especially since Sting is technically retired. I don't know if AEW has like their own versions of a Legends deal. They probably do. If
What for AEW?
Like, yeah, for like Sting. Like if
he's signed to like a. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So it's like if Tony says no, we can bitch and complain about it, and it will be rightfully so. But also at the same time, you could argue because like there's the DX reunion. He didn't let Billy Gunn show up, you know, and it sucked, but it is what it was, or it was what it is, and it is what it is. If it can't, yeah.
Wasn't Billy there for the Hall of Fame segment? Isn't because that's where he did the whole like the pissant like company line. What wasn't that the Hall of Fame? Was
that was
you talking about an in-ring segment?
You're talking about when Triple H called the pissant? Like that was like within 2019. I don't know if Billy might have been there.
Billy was signed or going to. He was going to AEW. That's what It was just at the beginning of everything.
Yeah, but
that's when Triple H had made that line.
Yeah. But yeah, that was also like 2019, 2022, whatever. They've worked together like low key. Like there was a moment where was it Daniel Bryan who said something on one of TK gave Daniel Bryan Bryan Danielson the okay to do something for someone else's go away. I think it was Undertaker or someone. I don't know. It was something like they've been proven to work together. If it's one of those things. Like if TK wants to be petty, if you want to call it that, that's fine. Best case scenario, DDP is the one who inducts him. Or they could do Hogan, or they could do Bischoff, or they could do Jimmy Hart. Like they could choose whoever. It would probably be DDP if they can't get Sting. If Sting is able to do it and TK lets him, that's also cool. I think we should just let this kind of play out. I understand that there's a controversy, but there's also been whether like we can talk about the shots that both companies sent throughout the years. We could talk about the times that they also like let shit happen. Like they mentioned Moxley, they mentioned Jericho, they mentioned all that. They still mention like granted they call them their old names, but they still like in this new era they mention these people. They let Daniel Bryan do something while he was currently signed.
They mentioned Sting's last match. I believe that was also a thing too.
They mentioned
like Michael Cole. Yeah, like so, like I think like there is still some quote unquote petty things going on between both companies, Absolutely. But I think honestly, for me, I think we should just let it play out. If it doesn't happen, it is what it is. If it happens, awesome, also. But worst case scenario, it's just going to be DDP. You know, Sting will probably be there under a mask or something. You know, so.
Sting's not an active wrestler. It's like. If Sting was an active wrestler, I would feel where you could be coming from. But as a legend, like go up there, say your piece about like your guy, and get the hell out of there. It shouldn't fuck up your money. On the flip side, though, how about a trade? How about a trade, people? How about we let you, get Sting for this, and you send me Gunther for Forbidden Door, and just Gunther versus Kenny Omega. That's all I want.
That's not a fair trade at all.
That's a fair trade.
The borrow, like you said, someone who's retired for
he's
a 5
minute
minute for a 5 minute for maybe a 3 minute speech.
He is an icon. You can sell merch, sell little Sting masks. Just send the Gunther over so I can have this 1v1 with Kenny, and we can just do it in Japan too.
All right, wait. Before Hero goes and says something, if I'm H, I'll let you do it. but whatever proceeds that Gunther brings in that you normally wouldn't see because he wasn't there, I want that. But you can use them. You can use them.
Gunther has
So
to
if your
win.
tickets, if your ticket sales,
Gunther has. All right, y'all about to piss me off.
No, because he's
No, next segment.
If we're talking about power rankings, he's a current world champion. You got this
Next
nigga. He has a mid card title. Absolutely not. All right, fine.
Your titles do not revolve in my world over here. All right, this
power
is straight
rankings,
slaps,
Power
straight
rankings,
grabs, no belts, no nothing. Actually, unsanctioned. Turn the lights off.
Slap him in the belly button. Watch him fold.
Slap him in the belly button. This nigga's disrespectful.
If you have to get a bigger arena because Gunther is there, I want the increase. I want the profit margin on that. You can have him, but I want the profit margin on that.
How about this? For All in Texas, I'll give you JBL. You give me Sting, I'll give you JBL. And you get a clothesline from hell.
Clothesline the shit out of Ricochet.
Actually, clothesline the shit out of Ricochet is fucking funny. You know what? Fuck it. Never mind. Go ahead. You take Gunther. Just give me Finn. He ain't winning no way. It's all right.
Oh, I'll take the segue.
I watch Finn and Kenny. Absolutely, I'd watch that shit in a heartbeat.
All right. Two last things before we get out of here. We'll start with Cope and Finn since DT wanted to bring this one up. We found out that, it probably wasn't Cope's idea to lose to the Demon.
I did not. I did not know you were going to bring this up.
I'm calling
Cap.
More I listen to Hero on the timing, the more and more his stance makes sense. That's it. Even we'll talk about it, but even this past Wednesday, when they ran back the same match they had the weekend before, how did Copeland, Adam, how did he lose the match?
The same way he lost the first time.
Choked out, snuff.
Yeah.
Wasn't a pin.
Why he get choked out? Why he get choked out?
We will talk about it during the show. During that show. But
I'm just saying.
I'm calling Cap. To give it more context to what DT just said, like what I said in the chat, I don't know, to me it's, even if it's true, it is still sus that the story is just now coming out. We're talking about a match that happened 2 years ago, or about to be 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. We're talking about a character who is not in that company anymore, and this is based off of 2 weeks of
two characters.
Yeah, two characters. Well, Finn's still there.
I mean, we ain't seen the Demon.
Oh yeah,
that character's long gone.
Yeah, well,
nah, he coming.
Hopefully,
the Demon coming.
But it's like this. You're talking about a match 2 years ago. You're not in the company anymore, and this is this comes off after 2 weeks of just the IWC and whatever, like calling you Cope Hogan, be like, oh, this motherfucker doesn't like to lose. Like, look how many times he lost. Like, and we talked about it last week too. I think maybe, but it's like, to me, it's a PR thing. To me, it's a complete PR stunt where it's like, see, I did try to put someone over, but the devil told me no. Like, so let's all just send our hatred to VKM. And it's like, yeah, he deserves that hatred. Yeah, fuck him. But the fact that the story is coming out after 2 weeks of like multiple days of people shitting on him, being like, yeah, he doesn't want to take pins. Ever since he got double stacked, he doesn't like to take a single motherfucking pin. Like, or like,
I wouldn't either. You're not about to pin me on top of another nigga and just think I'm gonna take another pin for the rest of my life. No,
I mean, Seth still pinned him, but it was also due to DQ. Like, he has not lost this match since that Roman Daniel Bryan match. That wasn't like him being distracted or some other shit, like he hasn't lost clean.
The way it happened, the shit was so disrespectful, bro. He dragged him and stacked the bodies. Do you understand how disrespectful that is in the wrestling ring, bro? Like that's crazy. I just got the memory of like, bro, he dragged the bodies, put them on top of each other, and pinned them. Hey, look, I get it. Roman's Roman. It's still mad disrespectful. I would never take a pin ever again. You're going to choke me out every match.
What did the shirt say? What did the shirt say?
It was like rack 'em, stack 'em, and pin 'em or something like that? Or
yeah, wreck 'em, stack 'em, and yeah. We out.
Like that.
Wreck everyone and leave.
I'm pretty sure Seth did pin him after that, but Seth went 1-3.
He said wreck 'em, stack 'em,
or 1-2.
Tribal Chief in 5.
1-3. No, it was 1-3.
Last bit of news here. During Mania weekend, besides a pretty shitty comedy show after Mania, we actually have John Cena doing $25,000 intimate meal. And the question is, $25,000 or a meal with John Cena, guys? Which one would you rather have?
Give me the $25,000 so I can have front row seats at WrestleMania. I'm not giving y'all $50,000 to go see WrestleMania and eat dinner with John Cena. Fuck out of here.
With 25 other people though, it's not as intimate as you think. You're with 20 plus.
Yeah, it's probably like one of those long ass 12 apostle type tables or some shit.
The more you tip, the closer you can sit.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
The answer is the money. That's the most ridiculous shit. And to go back on what you said a little bit before that, because we did briefly, last week I said it was a rumor, and they fucking confirmed it. Yeah, they're gonna do a roast, and it's gonna have Kill Tony hit Cliff or whatever the fuck his name is. He's a piece of shit. I urge everyone to not watch it. I will not watch it.
It's not live.
It's not. I don't think it's being recorded.
If it is,
you're gonna find clips out. The clips are gonna be out there, but it's not live.
The clips will be on the internet. That's cool. We shouldn't watch it. He's a racist. He ain't shit. And we gotta. It sucks because WWE is getting so much better. But since the TKO shit, the UFCification of this company is the
lines are merging.
It's gross. I don't want Conor McGregor on the show. I don't want to see Dana White. I don't like it. I don't need a Kill Tony. I don't need an Andrew Schultz. Honestly, if I'm Damian Priest, I'm putting Paul. You don't even. I better be night 1, because if I'm night 2 and I'm Damian Priest, I'm fucking him up, because Damian Priest is Puerto Rican, obviously. Zelina Vega, I'm fucking you up, and this is maybe a fucking, maybe I'm overthinking it, but if I'm Bad Bunny, why do I want to show up again? If you're gonna hire this dude who just called my my home country, floating trash, during a Nazi rally. Because that's what that was. That MSG show where that was at. That was a Nazi rally. Let's keep it a buck. If I'm Bad Bunny, do I want to show back up? That's a good question. I mean, I don't know.
When do we approach that situation of talent possibly being frustrated with who you bring onto the show, or is it just hey, it's big business, either you get on the boat or not, kind of thing? Because that is a big situation. The dude was live talking shit about PR and everything like that, right? And like you said, Bad Bunny, Zelina, Damian Priest, as talent, are you just supposed to sit there and just shut the fuck up because you're gonna check, or how does that situation work?
I bet not.
You're damned if you do, damned if you don't kind of situation.
I feel from everything we've heard since the new regime, obviously Triple H has put from everything we've heard, Triple H is really approachable. Obviously
what makes it so different?
We don't know. Yeah, we don't know. We don't work there. But if I was in one of those positions, I'd be yo, I don't want to be nowhere near this guy. I'll fuck him up. That's it. If he's night 2. I need to be night 1, or I need to open night 2. I don't want to see this motherfucker because I will fuck him up. I understand big business. I'm not trying to ruin my spot in this show or on this card. I'm not trying to make you hate me, but I don't like this nigga. So we can't be in the same locker room.
You just got to be careful. They have to be careful with that because retaliation does happen in businesses in the most slightest way. It could not be physical, but it could be hey, because you didn't play ball when Kill Tony was here, we're going to cut your minutes or whatever. And I don't think that's going to happen, but you just have to be really selective with how you approach, sensitive situations like this, especially when you're not the aggressor in the fucking, conversation. Yeah. But spinning out of that, thoughts and prayers, or, maybe we can't say that. Maybe.
I mean, I can repeat my joke. But
nope. We're good.
Okay.
No Dolphins. No Dolphins at all.
Wait, okay, well, real quick, since you brought that up, so Chris Bay had an interview. It looks like he can stand.
Right.
So shout out to Chris Bay. He had a really good interview with Chris Van Vliet. I did not finish it, but I will finish it. It seems really good. It made some people teary eyed. So that sounds cool and really heartfelt.
Yeah, DT, you said it like you heard like the first couple minutes. You were like, "Oh, it got kind of heavy."
The first like 9 minutes and 40 seconds, I was like holding back tears because he was explaining what it felt like to be present while he was actually paralyzed, and kind of like how he was in his mind going through the spots in the match mentally, but he physically was unable to do it and didn't know why. So, like even trying to like repeat some of the stuff he said, I'm getting emotional about it, but it's hard to say it was a good watch because when you think about the interview in its totality, obviously like they got straight to it in the first like 10, 15 minutes. But then listening to his perspective, his gratitude, kind of the quote that he kept repeating, which is every day above ground is a good day. It's like another chance to get better, another chance to accomplish something, another chance to be better at life. And like he kind of resigned himself to never wrestling again. But then as he started to knock out some of the smaller goals and now he can stand and he's working on walking longer distances and working out again slowly but surely, like there's kind of like an inkling that he, if it's possible, he's going to try and return to wrestling. And even just thinking about somebody having that kind of like mental toughness and perseverance to go through what he described in the first 9 minutes and then not be able to have dexterity in his fingers and not be able to text and not be able to pick up stuff or have his girl respond for him and just all the stuff that the shit that we take like for granted, being able to wiggle your toes and feel your toes and that kind of shit, to be in a place where he's like, there's a chance that I might be able to wrestle again. And then to get in the ring, to think about getting in the ring and trying to get back to who you were, even if it means you have to change your wrestling style, but still be in the ring and then have to deal with the trauma from that. Like that's kudos, man. It's a fucking testament. So it was really, really, really humbling and enlightening interview. And it just puts a lot of shit in perspective. So
yeah, you can't take shit for granted. You know what I'm saying? Like life's not guaranteed. Or tomorrow's not guaranteed.
And then also real quick, Homicide is retiring, I guess, because a cyst in his brain. So thoughts and prayers to Homicide.
Thoughts and prayers.
I don't know anything about his catalog or anything like that, but it's all relative and it's all wrestling, and like unless you're like a Hulk Hogan type of person, like I'm gonna give you positive vibes. So I'm assuming Homicide is good because no one's
a lot of feedback. Yeah, a lot of different talent.
Yeah, no one's came out and said, "Oh, like no, he was a nasty man." So shout out to Homicide, and hopefully, I know I have a family member dealing with some brain stuff. I know friends that have had family members deal with some brain stuff, whether it's like a cyst, a tumor, aneurysm, anything. So it's all tough, and hopefully it works out for him as well. So
absolutely. Speaking of like tomorrow's also the Chris Bay benefit pay-per-view, Mecca X or Mecca 10, happening March or 23rd. If you're listening now, it's probably already happened. But yeah, this is going to be a big show as well, to where like everybody's there. TNA talent, AEW talent, WWE talent. It's like technically kind of like a forbidden door. You know what I'm saying? Like this is the forbidden door.
It is a forbidden door. Besides
he called it
also
he called it the forbade
Forbidden?
Yeah, Forbidden Door. That's what he called it.
Forbidden Door? Yeah, this is definitely Forbidden Door.
Which is fire.
Yeah. So there's New Japan talent that's supposed to be there. All kind of stuff. So, yeah.
And I think, and like, it further proves, like, one, being a good person, being like, just being a genuine good person, like, you're going to make friends everywhere. But also, to me, it also further proves that, like, tribalism is bullshit. Like,
does not exist.
Like, a lot of these people, a lot of these wrestlers are fucking friends, you guys. Like, sometimes they send shots. Like, honestly, we kind of, like, sometimes people will send shots, but majority of the times, a lot of these wrestlers throughout all these companies, New Japan, AEW, WWE, whatever, they're all, like, a lot of them are fucking friends. Okay, so it's like, this tribalism is bullshit.
All right. Out of the news, we're going to jump straight into Raw. Where's Raw this week?
I didn't write it down.
Was it
Brussels?
Was it Brussels?
Yeah, it was Brussels.
Yeah.
Brussels. That's the John Cena shirt. Raw's in Brussels, so they're still on their UK tour, European tour. We could have talked about that too, but we'll save it for next week. How do we feel about this John Cena promo? He comes out and he gets on the mic. You know, I don't get the quotables. I do got some quotables.
I didn't write any of the quotes down. I mean,
John Cena didn't answer any of the questions. He didn't answer the shit that I needed him to, like, answer for. Why Cody? Why join The Rock? Not come out here and be like, you fans did nothing for me.
Well, okay,
you just use me.
Okay, no, you're not wrong, but I would say you're not fully right either. So, okay, DT, you want to go first?
No, go ahead.
Okay, so, all right. So, real quick, Corey Graves on commentary. Shout out to Corey being on the show. Made the show a lot better. So Cena opens show. It's about a 26 minute to 30 minute
way
promo.
Too long.
It could be. This one was good because you get Cody and him face to face. So
Cody's part's fire.
Yeah, no, Cody's part's fire. I think I liked John Cena's part as well. The reason why I liked John Cena's part, granted, he didn't answer all of our questions yet. We still have weeks to build. Similar to like what we were talking about with Roman's, like if Roman doesn't show up to this one show, like what are we doing? Like there's still a couple weeks to build. Like we still got some time. But, we got until April 19th, so we still got some time. And he's going to be on this next Monday, and I think the Monday after that. So we got plenty of times for the fine speech shit. We got plenty of times for like them literally barring each other up. This was him sort of answering the question, and he gives you the typical "you people" speech. And when I mean the "you people" speech, for people who aren't super tapped in or people who are barely tapped in, a lot of the times when someone goes from babyface to go to heel, like a lot of the time to be like, it was the fans. Like honestly, like Naomi kind of did it the other week, where it's the "you people," like you guys didn't believe me, blah blah blah. And Cena did that, but his was different, and it's different because there's a lot of merit in it. Like there's a lot of truth in what he was saying. Like he like, and he let shit play out. That's one of the reasons it went so long. Like because there was multiple times where the crowd was controlling the show. I mean, it's out of the country crowd, and we do like the shows out of the States. And there was a point in time where he's letting them rock with it, like, which is one of the reasons we get a squash match later in the show, which people were super upset about. Can't wait to talk about that. But there was a lot of merit in what he was saying. Like I remember coming back into wrestling and most people hating John Cena and me not understanding it, and then someone explaining it to me and was like, "Oh, okay, I'm supposed to hate this guy because he just buries talent or he does all this other stuff." Similar to when I came back into wrestling, I was like, "Oh, I'm supposed to hate Roman because according to this podcast with Punk and according to all these fans, I'm supposed to hate this guy because he's being shoved down our throats." Like, so, like what he was saying was like, "You guys turned on me. You guys like treated me like shit. Like I've done. Like you didn't like me at first. I almost got fired. I did all these other things, and then I kept winning. And then you started hating that shit. And it's like the last 10 years or last 8 years or so, I've been putting people over. You guys don't like that shit." And it's like it goes back also to the Daniel Bryan promo where it's like fans are fucking fickle. Like, you guys don't know what you fucking like. Simply, in that promo, like, everything goes back to that Daniel Bryan promo to me, because like one day everyone loves Jay, now everyone fucking hates him. Like, that's all you see online right now. Same with Damian Priest, same with a lot of characters. It's like, you guys don't know what the hell you like. So I personally liked John Cena's promo. Granted, it was a typical you people promo, which I don't super care for, because to me it's kind of lazy, where it's like any old baby face can be like, oh, I came out here, you guys didn't really believe in me. Honestly, it's the same shit I said last week when I was giving MJF shit, where it was like, oh, you guys don't like me. It's like, bro, they cheer you every fucking week. To me, it's the same. Like, it's the exact same thing. But with Cena, I don't know. It's coming from a place of realness. Like, he's he brought up the invisible joke. I'm so sick of you guys saying you can't see me. Like he brought up even though he probably doesn't really feel that, he's bringing like actual moments of shit that he's been dealing with for fucking like 20 plus years, and it makes the promo feel even more real. Like, I've seen plenty of random videos where it's like, hey man, I'm just here at dinner trying to eat with my friend, and you got a fan like, oh, do the hand sign, do the hand waiver, shit like that. So it's like what he's talking about is coming from a real place. So that's why I felt it. And then Cody comes out, Cody bars him up, and Cena doesn't retort. And I feel like he doesn't retort because, one, you got multiple weeks to do that. Like, what Cena did today, it was to talk to the fans. He wasn't even trying to talk to Cody yet. He wasn't even trying to adjust the Rock shit yet. He was really just trying to address, like, this is why I'm a quote unquote, I'm not a bad guy, I'm not a good guy, I'm a human fucking being. You guys been making fun of me for years. You guys didn't like me for years. There was a small fucking window where you liked me, and then I won too much and you started hating me. Like, I don't know, to me it all came from a real place, which is why I liked it.
DT, what you got?
I mean, he pretty much said all my points. So, like, he hit everything on the head there.
But we got to hear your voice do it.
So, the thing I think
I made him blush
the most to me is him saying it was an abusive relationship, it was toxic, and it was all about the fans. What do we get? What do we get? What do we get? Oh, he's a bad guy now. He's going to change his music. What kind of music are we getting? What kind of merch? What kind of clothes are we getting? Is he going to be wearing this? Is he going to be doing that? I'm not doing none of that shit. This shit is for me. Y'all didn't like me when I was doing me. And now that y'all have a reason to actually not like me, I'm going to still do me. And now you marks are fucking dressed up as me. You look like me. I can spot you. You look like a fucking idiot. You're wearing all my shit, but you're booing me. So now who's confused? So, I think it was great. I think it was great by John. I had someone come into work and they subscribe to the pod. Hopefully they'll hear this episode. And they were like, yeah, man, I just didn't like it. I thought it was weak. I thought it was such a bland promo. And I didn't have the time or the bandwidth to explain to him why the promo was good. So hopefully he listened up to this point and he can hear the other side. But I think it was, it was, you can call it the technique of the promo or the reasoning behind it. You could say it was low hanging fruit or
one-dimensional,
whatever.
maybe.
Sure, but it's real. It's real life, and that's what has been working in the WWE to get it as hot as it has been for the last 5 years. Is you're blurring a line and you cannot tell what's real and what's not. He literally pointed at a kid after the kid said, "I love you, John," and said, "This fucking kid too. I hate him." like, so hopefully, you know what I'm saying, even though we know he's doing a $25,000 dinner, he's at least not being recorded doing the Make-A-Wishes. So, and he's doing less of them. I don't know. But if he's full hill, he's not doing Make-A-Wishes. He's not fucking taking pictures with people doing all that stuff, then I'm all for it, because at any point in time you see him, no pun intended, people got their hand out, people got their phone in his face, people are asking him to do shit. I'm not some toy you can wind up and I fucking do all my greatest hits in 5 minutes. Like, I'm a human. I'm here chilling with my girl. Like, nigga, back the fuck up. In short.
So hearing you guys like kind of describe it, lessen it up for me a little bit. I still believe 30 minutes is way too fucking long. I also don't believe that you should start your promo with a fucking poetry quote. That's just me personally. Also, I'm a man of action. I don't like the whole like reading between the lines shit. Just let's get this shit over and done with. But that's not how storytelling works, and I know that. Mm-hmm. Some of the quotables that we did talk about here was like, I think DT said, 25 years I've been the victim of abusive relationship, and I'm like, well, technically I get it, because you were the mock-up superhero, you were the Hogan replacement, to where we didn't get to see you do what you wanted to do. You had to be a hero for us for 25 years. So okay, I'll give you that. Fine. But you can't act like it did not have its accolades that came with that, right? There was definitely pluses for that. You can't be like, I won all these championships because for you, and I didn't get to be myself, but you're the top of the mountain. You were the goddamn mountain. You were it. He's not a baby face or a heel, or
right. But that was one of the reasons they started hating him. That's a double-edged sword. Success can be a double-edged sword. Absolutely,
but you were still the show,
right?
It is a double-edged sword, but and this is also the parallel. Wow, I just got that. That's crazy. The parallel that the story that could be telling is also like foreshadowing Cody, right?
And
you are Cena.
Yep.
You are me. You don't realize that you're me, mm-hmm. but eventually you'll realize that you're actually me.
When
Cody talked. I'm sorry. Yeah, Cody touched on that a couple times. But,
yeah, I was gonna get to Cody's Coke. I got them too. Yeah.
All right, DT, go.
Go ahead. My bad, DT.
When John Cena was talking, I think I posted on BLUESKY or tweeted like, John Cena is going to stand in the ring and like tell the future about Cody's journey. He's gonna win a lot. He's gonna win so much that eventually people are going to hate him. It's kind of already happened a little bit, but
we've been critical of Cody.
Yeah. But I mean, to the point where people start booing, type of a deal. Like, all right, we've seen enough of this. Like, get this out of our face, kind of deal. That's what I thought the promo was going to be more about, as he began to talk about the stuff that he was feeling and going through. But then he talked about as he was going and letting the crowd kind of control their responses, he then got to a point in the promo where he was talking and the crowd got quieter and quieter because it started to make more sense. Then after a while, they got tired of it and they started chanting for Cody. And that's when he said, yes, you're a new toy. And like, that's where I figured he was going to start flipping that in. So I think that's going to happen for sure. He's going to talk about the downfalls and the pitfalls of what's going to happen for Cody at some point.
Absolutely. Some more quotables is that, he changed himself hoping we like him, and it worked for a second and it wasn't enough. So he worked like he always does, and he started to win, and he won a lot, and we hated it, and he wasn't enough then. He says, not one of these sons of bitches asked him how it feels. And that's where he goes like, you get nothing. What do we get? You get nothing. Because you didn't ask me how I feel to be cheered so high on the mountaintop and to be booed for just being successful and being what you wanted me to be. Right? I get it. Breaking it down and talking to y'all, it makes the most sense. What I did like was also, Cody's retort. When Cody comes out, he gets on the mic, he says, everyone's ready to hear John out. We all wanted to hear what you had to say. And then he says, you think the fans are giving you their worst. Well, I've also given them their best, or we've also given them their best as well, because he was special, because he could take it, because he could carry it. And then Cena hits him with, I think it was something like, hey, listen, kid. And Cody's like, enough. Mm-hmm. The enough, like when Cody hits you with the enough, it's time to stop playing games. And he says, even after what you did, he was excited to still go week to week, face to face with John Cena, and instead he got this. Well, if this shows up at WrestleMania, he said this better not show up at WrestleMania, because if it does, he'll run it over and run it out.
Retire it early.
Bro, I'm gonna retire it early, and I'm like, yes, Cody.
Which is a bar.
This is the nigga I want to see. This is the motherfucker over here that's like, that's the nightmare. I want to see that guy. All right. Cody's been on a spree. This last 3 months or 3 PLEs or whatever, like 2 PLEs, he's been on a fucking spree. Mm-hmm. And I'm liking the direction Cody's going. And like my original take was, like I said, no mention of Rock, no mention of, why he attacked Cody. You're right. He's addressing the fans first, because those are the ones who are going to be the most disappointed, or were the most disappointed with the action. These next couple weeks, we need to bottom, kind of like boil it down and figure out what the fuck is going on here. And that leads me to my next question. Do we think that he's going to mention The Rock? Is there any way he can do this without mentioning The Rock?
I feel like you have to mention him at some point. But to be fair, he kind of already stated. I mean, he has to restate it, but he kind of already. It was foreshadowed. After Royal Rumble. He was like, I'm going to Elimination Chamber. I'm not going to qualify for it. You know why? Because it's best for business. And what's best for business is me winning this championship for the 17th time and breaking this record. Like that right there is kind of already. That was our foreshadow to why he already joined the side. We still do need some further context and further explanation, but it was technically already handed to us. Like they technically gave it to us already, though. A little bit. We do still need further context for sure, but like that. Like if you re-listen to what he said after the Royal Rumble and then look at what's happened since then, like it was already in the fucking cards. It's like, no, like this is what's best for business. And The Rock, corporate final boss, he's what's best. He wants what's best for business, which originally was Cody's soul, because Cody is essentially pretty much the new Cena. He's the new superhero. He's like, he is the biggest babyface besides Jey Uso. And but what's best for business, according to The Rock and John Cena, is this breaking this record, etc.
I have a theory. So I'm sitting here. I was brainstorming some shit earlier this week. Right now it's Cody versus Cena. Right. Let's say hypothetically Cena takes his belt from Cody. Let me finish. Let me land. What if the story is, in the end, Cena ends up helping Cody like push The Rock away, right? Not falling victim to the curse or whatever the case may be. I don't know what I can compare it to, but it's like, I'm going to protect you from him. The harm that he was planning to do for you, I'm going to take the hit. And maybe that's how, like, we get Cody versus Rock at some point, to where you end up killing off the bigger star. Cody doesn't retire Cena. Rock retires Cena. If that makes any sense.
So I don't think we're going to get a Rock match. We might, but it's very unlikely based off of what we saw last year, based off his work schedule, based off of like he busted a bicep doing this last movie that hasn't even came out yet. I do think Cena goes back to babyface right before he retires.
That's where I'm getting at. Yeah,
I do think he does go back to babyface right before he retires. How, I'm not sure, but I think the idea of a Rock match is decreasing by the day.
Well, let's say really maybe it's not a match. Something's going to happen to where like Cena's going to take the bullet for Cody in some way, form, or fashion to kind of stifle one of Rock's plans or whatever the case may be. At least that's how I planned it in my head. To where it may not be a match, but Cena's going to end up giving Cody the big push. And that's what's really going to like, set Cody into like the next fucking realm. And I think that Cody has to go on this journey of like the downhill to kind of like, he has to have his Return of the Jedi moment. That's a Star Wars reference for people, my bad. But like the moment where like, you have to like, fuck, I lost to the big bad. I have to like, climb the way back up. And go get my green lightsaber and like really change shit up. You know what I'm saying? Like I think that's kind of where
He has to go to Dagobah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I understand every reference, but you guys are fucking nerds. We could at least bring it to, well, no, because every reference we're making is our age range. We're all the same age, essentially. You guys could have said Invincible season 1 or something. We gotta play to our
Respect
audience.
the classics, man. Respect the classics. Jesus Christ, you uncultured fuck.
No, the original 3 Star Wars. I love those original 3 Star Wars. I love them. I fucking love them. Absolutely. No, I was
They aged terribly. They aged terribly, but you know, I gotta respect them.
It's the CGI. The CGI didn't exist. So
yeah.
Wait, DT, do you have any comment on?
Yeah, before we get out, DT.
No.
Nothing? Cool.
Not at the moment. Mm-mm.
Getting out of this, there is a no holds barred between Penta and Ludwig. Once again, good match. I have nothing negative to say about this goddamn match at all. Both of them are fucking stars in the making. I've gave Ludwig praise. Y'all know how I feel about Penta. This is business as usual, y'all.
Yeah.
The dope part though was the destroyer on the chair. That was fucking fire.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get the Penta driver for the win and whatnot. But I got nothing to say here. What do we have? Anything that we want to add to this?
Shout out to the fans, because even though Ludwig is from that region, they still properly booed the heel. So, like, they know ball. So I'll give them that.
Wait, are you saying that the fans are smart and know who to boo and cheer for, even if you're from the hometown? Is that?
It's a concept.
Somebody said that on a pod one time. It was like, who's gonna get booed in his hometown? Just saying, fans know. They know ball. The fans know ball. Backstage, we see Karrion Kross talking to Dom, and we know how Karrion Kross is. We know this man is a puppeteer. He's masterminded. He's inner workings. This is also the same kind of like, or in the same time, the same promo where Dom tells Finn that he wants to bring Penta into the Judgment Day, and Finn's looking like, bro, the same motherfucker who's coming after the belt I'm trying to go after, that's the guy you want to bring in? You're
blurring a couple things, because Cross also talks to AJ again about Logan Paul, and he does. He's wearing the same hairstyle, and I want to say that was the very first part where he's talking to someone. He's like, yeah, you're just mad because Logan is, it took you all these years to get here, and like Logan did it quicker, yada, yada, yada. Again, playing devil on the shoulder puppeteer shit. You do see him talking in the background of Dom. We have no idea what that part is about. But yeah, once we get to the Judgment Day segment, Finn's all smiley, talking to Liv and Raquel. And then Dom is like, I kind of want to still add a new person to the group. Let's add Penta. And then, yeah, Finn flips out and he calls fucking Dom a snake. Because, like, you want to add the fucking person who just said he's going to go for the IC title. The IC title that I'm supposed to win tonight in this main event. Like, you're a fucking snake. And then Carlito with a great comedic line is like, because Dom is like, I didn't know Penta was going to do that, and fucking Carlito's like, you don't watch the show.
You don't watch the show?
It's like great comedic line. So yeah, shit in Judgment Day is still happening. Do you think they add another person before they kick Finn out, or do you think they're going to kick Finn out and then add another person?
I don't think Finn gets kicked out. I think Finn leaves, but he doesn't leave the same way that Damian Priest leaves. I think Finn leaves after he beats the shit out of Dom.
So wait, he beats one person in a gang and like the gang doesn't retaliate?
That doesn't mean no. It doesn't mean that the gang won't retaliate. But you asked if he's going to get kicked out. I'm saying he's going to leave on his own. He's going to get tired of Dom shit. He's going to leave on his own. Him and Dom are going to wrestle. It's evident that it's going to happen. Is it a Mania match? Probably not. But it's evident that it's going to happen. And I think that is the catalyst for Finn to leave the Judgment Day.
Would we be disappointed if there's not a new member? They've been hinting at it and teasing it for a while now. Like, if there is no new member, do we feel some type of way? Do we want a new member in Judgment Day? Is that something we want to see revitalized?
Yeah. I want the Judgment Day to stay. And if Finn leaves, that means JD is more than likely going to leave. So you got to get at least 2 more members. Female or male. There's plenty of people in catering that need something to do.
JD doesn't have to leave.
He doesn't have to leave, but I don't see them breaking him and Finn up right now or at this yet. Like they're both they both have their history of training together, being Irish, etc., etc. I don't see them breaking up yet, but like that is actually, that is plausible. I don't think Finn just quits the gang. Like if you know anything about gangs, you can't just quit a gang. Like either you got to get jumped out or some crazy shit, or you got to get killed out, my nigga. Like usually you don't just. There's so many movies about like, oh, I was an assassin, I don't want to be an assassin anymore. Like no, nigga, you can't just leave. Some shit got to happen. So I don't know if he's just going to like leave like willingly. I feel like there's going to be some sort of confrontation, whether it's just with Dom or the whole group. That's up to story, but I do think it has something to do with Dom with what DT said. Like they've been playing on this story for months now. So
you can't. So here's the thing: to keep it entertaining and different, you cannot have him leave the same way that the Terror Twins left, because you run the risk of replaying the same storyline and get stale. To me, that's what happened with Rhea and Damian. Once they split off as 2, shit got monotonous because they kept dealing with the Judgment Day until they finally got split into different shows, and then now you're starting to see them both kind of receive some backlash a little bit for where their characters are at in the moment. If let's just say Finn leaving is off the table, in terms of him leaving on his own accord and having the beef with the Judgment Day on the way out, the only other option would be for Dom to get a new member that no one knows about, and that member takes out Finn, and then is revealed later, and they join together later on.
So
saying? Oh, that's low key kind of wait real quick. That's low key kind of similar to how they kicked out Edge. Just a little bit,
yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah,
I was gonna say that.
Yeah,
okay.
That happened how long ago though?
A couple years ago.
Yeah, so that you can do it that way because you can tell the story of reaping what you sow. You came in that same way, you leave that same way.
I like that.
In terms of adding members, there's 2 people I want to add, but I think it's gonna mess up the dynamic in terms of how the Judgment Day looks overall. Because I'm gonna just say it. It would end up being more girls or more women in the faction than men. I mean, so I think it would flip.
That's fine with me.
That's fine. Oh, I want. So, wait, are you gonna be? Are you gonna? Wait, no, wait. Are you gonna be on next week? Because that's a really good thing. Like that could be a 10-minute conversation.
I can tell you, yes, yeah, because I'm off next weekend. So yes. So do you want me to tell you and then we leave it there and then we come back to it, or no?
I think we should kind of think of who should be the 2 to 3.
We can't tease the audience. We cannot tease the audience. That's some fucked up shit.
Okay, so
wait. No, what did Dragon Ball Z do? What did all these? What is called to be continued? It's called come back next week.
No, he might forget. We boomers, man.
What are you talking about? I'll put in a note in my phone. New Judgment Day members.
I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. No, I'm gonna say it.
Do it.
It needs to be the remaining 2/3 of PFC. In the Judgment Day.
I'm not mad at that.
You still have for now, you still have JD, you still have Dom, you still have Carlito, but then you can have, you said that there's people in catering that need something to do. You can literally have Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark join the Judgment Day.
Okay, wait, real quick. In that scenario, is JD still in your group? Because I feel like you need another guy.
See what I said?
I feel like you need another guy because Carlito is going to be the R-Truth. He's the comedy person. So I feel like you need to like another dude. So in that scenario, is JD still in your
which is why my thought process was that only Finn leaves. JD doesn't leave. JD's been out of action for however long, and you can play the story of, well, Dom was the only one that was checking on me while I was sick. You were too busy worried about new members and too busy worried about the IC. You didn't check on me. So my loyalty is to Judgment Day.
Gotcha. Okay.
Any chance that Raquel and Liv kicked them out the group? Like, y'all tripping. We've been done found new members, and that's how you can incorporate PFC, and y'all motherfuckers get pushed to the side. I do like your idea of having the women in there. And I do also agree that there should be some men in there, but I think that it would, for me, the dynamic be a lot doper if it was like Liv still playing mastermind games. Like, y'all been fighting with each other this entire time. I haven't seen that we've been pulling moves.
You run the risk. I think you run the risk if Carlito, JD, and I'm just assuming you're talking about Dom as well, are like not a part of it. You run the risk of the stock of Judgment Day going down further than it kind of has went since Damian and Rhea are no longer in it.
No,
so you have, technically, in order to keep Judgment Day hot, and by hot I mean booed, in a way that is like good heat, you gotta kind of keep Dom with Rhea. In my opinion.
Liv.
I mean, sorry, yes, Jesus, Liv.
And to piggyback off of what he's saying, honestly, I think you have to keep Dom. Like, honestly, I think what you should do is make Dom the actual mastermind. Because if you you pay attention to the entire, like, Dom is the one that out of Carlito. Dom is the one. I mean, Finn helped, but Dom is the one who got with Liv. Dom probably knew about Raquel more than any of the other members. So, like, in my mind, you replace JD and Finn, or you keep JD in DC scenario. You can keep JD, but you got to replace Finn. Adding Shayna, or Zoe. Honestly, I don't know if you add both, but adding one of them would be fire. But I think you need at least one more guy for sure. If you keep Carlito, you need another big muscle, because Raquel is the muscle, and like Raquel is essentially playing Priest right now. You need another muscle, and it could either be an NXT call up, or there could be someone in catering who I'm not thinking of. But I think I'm very pro adding either Shayna or Zoe, and then adding another dude, or adding Shayna and Zoe in a big dude, like a Omos or some shit. But I have other plans for Omos in my head, honestly.
If you do add the rest of PFC, you got to go and hit somebody hard. Like, I need you to, like, I don't need you to take somebody's belt immediately, but like, we got to make sure that the stock is up. Like, Shayna is on submission magician shit.
I got you. Lyra Valkyria, they can go back and get they dubs on her.
Yeah. Wait. Okay. So my problem with adding two women is that, okay,
or tag belts or something like.
They already got.
There's already two women.
Yeah, they can't.
There's two women and there's three men right now. One of the guys are going to go, maybe two of the guys. So there's a chance that you have two guys, two girls. I think you should add, I think it should be balanced on some Power Ranger shit. I think you should add at least one more lady and one more guy. I'm very pro Shayna or Zoe. Either one would be fire to me. Shayna would be cool because she doesn't have to talk as much. But I think, honestly, we should balance it. Let's keep it 3 guys, 3 girls, or like, I don't know. I think 3 guys, 3 girls. I think four girls and 3 guys, that's way too big of a gang. And then 3 girls and 2 guys, while one of them is Carlito, who's clearly like Latino R-Truth. That's not a good power dynamic to me.
So literally what I said before I started this pitch is exactly what you're struggling with. Because I said you run the risk of having a group out of balance. But if you're talking about people who fit the Judgment Day look and style, and who are already heels, and people who can wrestle and hold their own, and are in catering and currently not doing anything, it's that. So then, yes, you're running into the issue that So,
All right.
yeah.
It's funny. Speaking of like the IC title or women's IC title, we get a match between Dakota and Ivy. Winner gets another shot at the belt, whatnot. Solid showing by Ivy. I think Ivy looked really good in this match.
It was a
Dakota ends up
quicker match.
Yeah, Dakota ends up winning here and gets another shot at the title. I see DT shaking his head in disapproval here.
Because it was the only way she could win was by Ivy getting distracted. Because we just saw how Ivy wrestled against Lyra last week or the week before last.
Ivy's been killing.
I'm telling you, Homegirl is not that good. And that is the exact reason why she had to win the way she won. They should have just did the fan service 2 weeks ago, got it over with, and then had Ivy take the shit off of her, and we can give real graps and raps, and that's my piece, and I'm shutting the fuck up.
My piece is that I don't think they should have ran this back if they're just going to have Dakota win. Like, the U.S. title is already being repetitive to where it's been Meechin versus Chelsea like 3 times now. We don't need the exact same on the other show.
Where's the women at? Like
there's multiple, like, just bring, like, it even if it's just a random call up, or I wouldn't even say call up, even if you do like a fucking open challenge type shit, like, I don't know. To me, they're booking it like Chelsea's Green's booking is way better than Lyra's booking, but the booking is still relatively the same in the sense that they keep fighting the same motherfucking people for the most part. Like, the only difference is that, like, Lyra has fought 2 people, and I think Chelsea's literally only defended against Meechin and maybe B-Fab one time. Like, so their booking is literally the same, but everyone, like, if you look at the IWC, everyone loves Chelsea's booking, but also that's because Chelsea's fucking entertaining as shit.
It's the entertainment side of it.
And Lyra is really fucking good. Her character isn't hitting with people, but Lyra is really fucking good. Like, like the match with her and Bailey not that long ago, fucking fire. The match with her and Ivy, fucking fire. Like,
her and
Nia, really good. Like, Lyra, she is going. There's a reason she signed. Like, she's going to be great. I'm not fucking with the booking. Like, there's plenty of women you can just like have a random match with. You know, like having open challenge. Like, make her, like, just do something different than what you're doing with SmackDown.
I don't want to say this, but I think, like, when it comes to Lyra, it's like Lyra, you got to give her women who can get down and get busy, right? And I don't really see that with Dakota, respectfully.
That's not.
Respectfully.
That's
but like Lyra shines when it's like the Baileys, the Roxannes, you know, like people who can really, like, get in there and tangle. Even with, like, Ivy, like,
Ivy has, like, proved a lot. Like, she's
has proved that she can get in there and tangle. So, like, when you throw in, like, Dakota, it's like it just slows the pacing down, slows the match down. And not Ivy, but Lyra slows down. Like, she works better in high speed, not high speed, but, you know, a faster pace, like wrestling match.
Lyra's problem is not wrestling. She just needs more character work. She doesn't like being called Bird Lady. But
you get that by having good heels. Good heels bring out good baby faces, you know? So you need the proper enemy to bring that character out. So
you just need a good, like, I mean, yes, you're not wrong, but I would say you need a good storyline first. Like, it doesn't, like, even if she's beefing with another face, even though face versus face isn't the greatest, like, you just need a good storyline. Like, she doesn't have, like, and that's why there's a difference between her and Chelsea's stuff, because even though it's very similar, Chelsea has had a beef with Meechin for a very long time. Like, they had the street fight, they had the garbage can match or whatever, and then, like, you have the 2 matches. You had B-Fab into it, then now you add Alba to it. Like, even though it's the same, like, she's had story within her shit. With Lyra, she's had no story. Like, her biggest story since the main roster was with Becky / Nia Jax.
We think Chelsea's character is based off a story? Like, I think Chelsea's character is based off of, like, her entertainment side of it and her being a good heel. I don't know if there's a story that locks in that. I don't think there's a story that defines Chelsea. You know?
Okay, so what I mean story with Chelsea is what I mean, like, she's been beefing with Michin this whole time, and there's been a story between that. With Lyra, it's like, oh, I fought Dakota to win a belt, and then Dakota
I'm from NXT. You're gonna love me,
right? And then Dakota wins another random number one contender. I fought her again. That was it. Then I fight Ivy because Ivy jumps me. Fight Ivy, I win. Like there hasn't actually been a story. Like with Chelsea, there actually has been a story because her and Michin have a history. Because her and Michin were beefing before the title even became to exist. So that's what I mean by story. Like her and Michin had beef before the title even came into that picture.
Would you say Chelsea needs, or not Chelsea, but Lyra needs a Roxanne? You know,
that was literally who I was going to say. Like after you're not going to do it now. You can start to kind of do it now, but Roxanne has already shown multiple occasions she can hold her own on the big stage. That we know. To heat her up, to heat Lyra up, this is something that needs to kind of start in the next week or two, and it's something that develops after Mania. So she need to be knocking off. She need to be knocking off other people that Lyra has knocked off, or she needs to handle Ivy Nile in a way that Lyra couldn't. Type shit, or give Ivy Nile her rematch because she was the one that took Lyra to the end. But yeah, Roxanne should be the one that has that belt second or third based on them two. It should not be a Dakota Kai. And I don't know if they're just feeding Dakota something to do because they're waiting on the rest of Damage Control to not be injured since everybody over there is fucking injured. So I don't know.
I mean, you could always still give the belt to Bayley, but again, the difference is like with Chelsea, she gets multiple backstage segments and like in the ring segment. Like Lyra doesn't talk that much. Like Lyra, like her reign is kind of similar to Braun's reign, where it's like they just randomly show up in the background. But we're more acclimated with Braun already. Like we understand Braun. Like he's a dog. He'll give us a good match. Like with Lyra, like she's the bird lady. And granted, it is a funny joke to her. It's kind of not funny, but also like to regular fans, like or casuals, like you see her maybe every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks, and it's usually not her talking. It's usually not a promo. It's like, all right, this is my new number one contender. It's probably Dakota or Ivy, and then it's the same. Like it's been the same thing. It's she has not gotten the same exact shit that Chelsea's got, even though their shit is very similar, if that makes sense.
We'll put a pin in it. We'll come back to it as like, story and everything that progresses and whatnot. Speed through, but we're gonna hit
there's really not much that happens.
There's only two things on the docket. First off, before I won't even go through the whole promo, Rhea just signs a contract. Rhea just comes in this promo and signs Bianca's contract for the Mania spot. And are we just okay with that? Is that a thing? Can you just do that? Like,
let me do the Dragon Ball Z recap. All right. There's a contract signing. Io and Bianca are in the ring. Io says something. Bianca says something. They both sign the contract. Rhea comes out, says some shit, like again, calling Bianca out, like, why were you out for my match? Like Io, Rhea's being a brat. I will elaborate on that later. Yeah, then Rhea attacks both of them, headbutts Bianca, does something to Io, headbutts Bianca onto the table, hits Io, powerbombs Io onto Bianca, not through the table because the table doesn't break. Table's too strong. Signs the contract, steals the contract. We'll see something else later in the backstage segment, which Adam Pearce is like, what the fuck is going on? You can't do this. She's like, it's a law-abiding contract. It's a law-abiding contract. He's like, Rhea, you're being a brat. You're being a brat. Give me the contract. Give me the contract. Fucking Bianca comes out, attacks her. Io comes out, attacks Rhea because she pushes Bianca off. And then he's like, no, I want this bitch. Like, no, I want this bitch. Then Rhea then gets up the upper hand again, and then she gives Adam Pearce the contract. Now, as of right now, it is not a triple threat, but it's going to be a triple threat, which we already also talked about on the show that's going to happen.
I like how we talked about the contract being signed, I think either last week or the week before by Jay White, right, for the title. And this week, we just see that Rhea signs a contract. So in the wrestling world, whatever we're talking about is happening. in some way, form, or fashion.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's not new. It happened a couple or like what was it? 20. I think it was. Ooh, it might have been right before the Demon Roman match, but there was when Finn was supposed to fight Roman and like Cena comes out and he signs the contract. Oh, I think that might have been the SummerSlam that I went to in Vegas. But like it happened with Cena not that long ago. It was supposed to be Finn and Roman. Some shit happens and fucking Cena signs the contract, even though Finn was supposed to sign the contract, and then we get Cena and Roman. Like,
how we feel? Let's just cut to it.
Okay.
Yay, nay, against it. What are we talking about?
DT, you go first.
No, go first.
All right.
Go.
Okay. The way that they're telling the story, it's nay. I know, like, I already knew they were going to do the triple threat. We talked about it. We talked about it on the show. We talked about it off the show. I knew they were going to do the triple threat. The way that it's being portrayed on TV, it's a no for me. It's a no for me because Rhea, granted, I do understand, like, I can kind of see where they're going with her character. Like, her character, she was dominant as fuck for, like, over a year. She had a gang. The gang betrays her. She loses her title because she gets injured. She has to get her confidence back. You know, she has to finally get the title back after a bunch of cheating. She gets the title back, and then she feels like two people who are her friends or whatever betray her, whatever the fuck. I do understand her character's journey per se. As of right now, though, as of this last show, or as of the last two shows, her character has been extremely whiny to me, and I'm not liking it. It's not the Rhea that I love. Her character has been too whiny to me. Like, you didn't need to do what you did on Monday and get added to this match. You could have got added to this match regardless, more than likely. You're fucking Rhea Ripley. Like, the way I look at Rhea is the same way I look at Bianca, or not Bianca, but Bianca. But what I was going to say was Becky or Charlotte. Like, you don't need to win the Rumble. You don't need to win the Money in the Bank. Like, you're fucking Rhea Ripley to me. But like, so I'm honestly, I'm in the middle with her personally, because again, I think she's being super bratty. Like, it's really annoying, actually. I'm finding her character right now annoying, but I also can try to look through the whatever the fucking quote is, through the trees with the forest, where the fuck, like, I can see where her character is going to go, but as of right now, it's coming off annoying as shit. So, to answer the question, I'm in the middle. But I already knew this was going to happen. I just don't like the way that they're doing it.
The phraseology you're looking for is see the forest for the trees.
Thank you.
This shit is ass. And it's not often that I use that terminology. But this shit is ass for every reason that Hero just explained. My problem is she bet not win at Mania after doing this. She bet not win at Mania. That's how I'm initially feeling about Rhea at this moment, based on how they're writing and doing it. It's completely unnecessary. You lost. And it wasn't like you lost because a nigga cheated. You lost because you took your eye off the ball. It would be different if Bianca came out there and interrupted the match or pulled the ref away or assisted EO by throwing a weapon in or hitting the KOD or something or whatever. You lost because you got distracted because someone was watching your match, which happens all the time. To me, that can't be the crux of the situation. Just say you lost because you lost, and you want another opportunity, as opposed to coming in. But like, I don't know. I just don't like it. And if John and Roman and this and that person did it, this shit's still weak to me. But it's different if you're telling me that John didn't have, which I don't think he did, but John didn't have a belt at that time, and then just lost it, and then came in and popped in and did that. I'm not fucking with it. To me, it gives off Charlotte vibes. That's how
I see the complete opposite. I see it doesn't give me Charlotte and it doesn't give me Bratty. It gives me Drew. it's very similar to Drew McIntyre and how like Drew like lost his belt and he went on a fucking tangent where like everybody's against him and everything like that, right? When Drew lost the belt against Priest, right? And he was like, granted, Punk did interfere. I give you that. He had a reason to be mad at Punk. I'm not knocking that. But Drew did everything in his power to try and like fight through the mountaintop and win Money in the Bank and whatnot. But he was very arrogant and assholey to everybody, you know, during that process. Rightfully so. But I see that like I don't want to say that like, and maybe it could be whiny because it's not. It's just not Rhea. We don't see Rhea in this bag. Like it's not a normal thing for her to be complaining and just not forcefully taking like your situation.
Whiny? It's not
she
normal for her to whine.
It's not normal. Yeah, it's not normal because Rhea doesn't whine. Okay, I'll give you that.
Bianca came out, watched the match. You got distracted, and then you're like, "Why are you cheering for her? Why are you cheering for her?" Like,
am I not your friend? Do you want to
sounds like
me?
Drew. That sounds like Drew to me.
Drew won the Money in Bank. He won elimination chamber. He won elimination chamber to get a qualifying match. Got screwed out of it. Won the Money in the Bank. Got screwed out of it. Like he won multiple matches to get to that point, and then got screwed over by the same person. Rhea came out, like Bianca came out to watch the match to see who she was going to win. Because you know why it makes more sense that Bianca came out? Because when she won Elimination Chamber, who came out behind her? Fucking Rhea. And then who came out right behind her? Io. So she has every right to watch the match. Just because she was clapping for Io doesn't mean she's not clapping for you, bitch. Like you guys were and I mean bitch in a respectful term. You guys were supposed to fight a couple years ago, but you had a heart condition. They were supposed to fight at Money in the Bank a couple years ago. But she had a heart when she first got in Judgment Day, she got like a heart condition or some shit like that, and she couldn't wrestle for a while. But this match was supposed to happen a while ago.
And don't forget, even after that, she was supposed to choose between Bianca and Charlotte, and chose Charlotte at WrestleMania 39.
And then the last 2 weeks is like, oh, why'd you show up for Io? It's because you're scared to fight me? There's so much evidence that you were scared to fight Bianca? My nigga, like, what are we talking about?
You've been running.
The outlier in this is that this is all happening where Rhea is targeting Bianca and Io's right there. I like the stories they're telling here is that, like, y'all keep fucking around and keep dismissing Io. Io about to fuck both of y'all up, and y'all not going to see it coming. And I think that's probably what's going to happen at Mania. I would hope, I want that to happen at Mania, is that Io comes out on top and y'all can continue fighting with each other while I move on.
I think Bianca is trying to Bianca's making every effort to pay attention to who has the belt. It's once Karen Ripley gets involved and starts taking shots because she's not the one that's holding the belt because it's somebody else's fault. Then that's when Bianca's like, okay, well, I'll address you then since you're in front of my face. And that's what's happening. But I think
the callback is going to happen at Mania. I think at Mania, Rhea's going to distract Bianca, and that's how Io's going to win. I think they're going to do a callback.
That's fine. As long as Karen Ripley doesn't win that night, I'm cool. I don't care who wins.
Because I don't think Bianca nor Rhea need the belt to be who they are.
Right.
No.
And I agree with both of you. I'm not going to call her Karen Ripley, but I don't think Ripley should win. But I'm also I love all three of these women. Like all three of them are my current like top 5 women's wrestlers and in my top 5 or my top 10 wrestlers in general. Like all three of them. I really love all three of them.
Easily. Yeah.
But I'm also very pro like not breaking the EST WrestleMania streak right now. If that's something that they want to keep, if they want to keep it, then I think Bianca should win. If they don't want to keep it, then I think Io should retain based off the fact that we got 2 powerhouses. We got a
She's 3-1.
Bianca has not lost at WrestleMania.
We asked that. She's 3-1.
I asked that like 2 weeks ago. And somebody, I can't remember who, but someone did the research and was like, yeah. I thought she was undefeated. I was under the impression she was undefeated. And I can't remember if it was Jay or if it was you, but somebody researched it and said that she was 3-1. Or she's lost once.
She's been there 4 times. She lost 3, and she lost to Becky at 34.
She didn't
She's 1-3.
She didn't lose to Becky at WrestleMania.
Wait, hold on. Let me.
Listen, I just asked a question.
Hold up. Wait up. Talk among yourself. I'll figure it out.
I think there's a higher chance of Bianca losing now based on what's developing between her and Jade and Naomi. Which if their match takes place on night 1, and then the triple threat between Rhea and Io take place on night 2, I think that one of them interferes with that match.
They're counting battle royals. As far as 1v1s for the title, she's undefeated.
Yeah, she has not. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah,
but she has lost at WrestleMania, but technically not in 1v1s.
It was an Andre battle. Yeah, it was like an Andre battle. Yeah, no, she has not lost a 1v1 match at WrestleMania. She's on some Undertaker shit.
Well, then this granted,
this is
not 1v1.
Yes, it's a triple threat, but her only loss is like a battle royale. That's also like, I don't know. There's still the levels to it.
Yes, if there's interference, then you can still say she's undefeated in 1-on-1. You can still say that. It just won't be full on Taker, but yeah, you can still say
that. Getting out of this real quick, unless Hero, you got anything you want to add on?
No.
All right. Were you upset with the squash match between Jey Uso and Theory, and the splash that was a spear and the dive that wasn't a dive, that everybody's just like, ain't nobody hotter than Top Dollar. Like, now he got the spot now. Like, it's.
I'm so over this shit. I'm so over
Can we skip the dive? Can we just skip the dive?
No, we can't skip the dive. No, we can't skip the dive because there's literal people who are giving Jimmy praise. He's like, look what he like. No, the hate on Jay, the hate on Priest, the hate on a couple other people is so fucking forced. Like, you guys are hating on Jay so much that you're praising Jimmy. They have the same fucking moveset. He's like, oh, look at him. He did. I think Jimmy. I think Jim.
You spent the last
Jimmy is better
6
in the
weeks. Okay, that's all I'm saying.
Jimmy is better in the ring to me. Jimmy is better on the mic to me. But they still have the same shit. They are still literally the fucking same. People are being extremely performative right now. They are trying to bury Jay any chance they get. It's almost like it is such a brain rot, and it reminds me of what's going on with Assassin's Creed right now, to where it's like someone was like, they got 2-hour credits. Like, you guys are finding any way to complain about this game, where it was like, their credits are 2 hours long. Nigga, press X, you can skip it. You don't gotta watch the credits. You can skip it. And it's like, oh, you can have a relationship with a non-binary person. Nigga, you chose to have that relationship. You had to literally
multiple options.
You had to flirt with this person multiple times to choose that option. You are trying to paint a narrative. Look, people love Jey Uso. People wanted Jey Uso to beat Roman twice in the last 5 years. All of a sudden, he wins Royal Rumble and he's just not good. He's a yeet merchant. He's a mascot. He's like, what are we like? It is so fucking irritating. He fucked up a dive. Okay, great. Fucking people fuck. It's fucking wrestling. Io does at least maybe one botch a match. I don't even want to say botch, because botch is too hard of a word. She did, like, people mess up.
This is hiccups, bro.
It's fucking wrestling.
Look. Jay, this thing, like I said it before, Jey Uso's run is not for us. It's for the kids and the little one. Yep.
It's for us. Nigga, I bought a Yeet shirt. It's for me.
I get it. I get it. You got a Yeet shirt. But it's not meant for you. It's like target audience isn't meant for you. And for people to sit there like, oh my God, Jey Uso's this and dislikes on YouTube and everything like that, bro, it's like, okay, whatever. It doesn't stop their plans. It shouldn't stop their plans if it's it
don't stop the merch from coming in.
Well, no,
exactly.
This is where I disagree, because you could argue that the Cody run last year wasn't for us, because Cody's a beloved babyface. He loves the kids. It's about the story. With Jay's story, granted, like I love to make fun of it. He's a tag team guy, Oos. Like he's not supposed to be here. You know, like he's.
Yeah, you actually started the hate train. I was going to tell you that.
I didn't start a fucking hate train. I was making a joke. But since the Bloodline saga very first started, like this was what it was all supposed to turn out to be.
This is what you guys wanted.
This is what was supposed to this was planted in 2020, and now you're mad that it's finally happening in 2025. Like you guys wanted him to beat Roman twice. People wanted, and I don't mean you guys as in you two specifically, but like people wanted him to beat Roman twice. Like he had a stinker with his brother last year, but no one has ever talked about his matches before he finally won the Rumble. He has not changed. Like he did a Poison Rana at the Rumble. No one's talking about he had a new move to his moveset. No one's talking about that shit. Like it is so performative in the sense of I just need to hate something. I you just have to hate on something.
It's what have you done for me lately kind of thing, and there are people who are like over it, and it's like I don't know why. And also I think because that Rumble was so fucking stacked, you were kind of like disappointed when it wasn't Punk, when it wasn't Cena, when it wasn't Roman or Seth, and Jay came out. But anybody who's been paying attention to wrestling should have saw that Jey Uso was the ideal pick. He's been fucking booming. Like it makes no sense. I do agree that it's performative, but I also think that that's also why you got to disconnect from the IWC because it's just not a real place.
Yeah, it's not real. Fuck all that shit.
It's not real.
It's not real
because the crowd fucking loves it.
Exactly.
They asked for encores 3 weeks in a row. Do it again.
Exactly. The crowd is feeding off of it. He's not getting booed by the crowd. It shouldn't change anything. If anything, the person who I feel like hasn't really been popping off lately is Gunther.
I haven't just gonna say that.
But
goddamn right. You got
he hasn't popped off. Like I haven't seen you be like, not necessarily confident in your abilities, but you're the champion. You're the defending champion. You need to be out here, bossing up. I get it. You came here in the squash match, choked him out and whatnot, but we haven't had any definitive promo from Gunther. Like you are not worthy. Gunther should be fucking Thanos right now. Like I don't care who you are.
Okay, well here's my counter to this real quick.
It should be more. It should happen more often. I know he's done it before, but it should happen more often, more frequently.
So my slight counter, because he did have that 1 week where he came out, he did the fake yeets. Like even before Jay picked him, he was like, "Bro, if you pick me, I'm gonna make your life a living hell every week." But my main counter is look at Gunther's catalog. Like he has problems with people like a Sammy and people like a Jay.
The multiple time people he's
this
fought.
Is where he has his this is his story. Like that is his story where and that's why he's choking them out every week. That's why he's doing all this that we've seen in the last couple. He has trouble with these anime protagonist type characters like a Sammy and Jey Uso who just has that willpower, who does not die, and who has the fan base completely behind him. It took Sammy 3-4 times to beat him, and it was at Mania. Guess what's going to happen with Jay? Because Jay fought him for IC, lost. Jay fought him for the main event or one of the Saturday main events. He lost. He's probably now Jay is more than likely going to win at this Mania. It's a story of there is a story about Gunther's character and how he treats these people or these certain characters.
We shouldn't just automatically just put aside that Gunther's just going to win this. It should just be like, okay, we're gonna have a good match, and Gunther still can come out on top. It shouldn't be as definitive as Jay won Rumble. Jay's gonna win this. We should, of course, we know because we are who we are. We're connected at some point, but it shouldn't visually you're still the fucking champ until WrestleMania happens, and that needs to be present. I need to see you still be like, I'm that guy.
Well, I mean, he's been doing that. He had a good match. He had a good match with Axiom. He's still being
the Axiom match was great.
He's still being that guy. I think he's still being that guy. I don't know. I'm not fully understanding the disconnect, except for that people just don't like Jay, because both that IC title match with Jay versus Gunther, that was heat. No one complained about that match. No one complained about the Saturday Night Main Event match. But ever since he won the Rumble, it's it's going to be a stinker, or it's going to suck. It's going to be the same match as him versus Jimmy. And it's where are you getting? Where are you guys getting this the shit from? Like, I don't understand. Like, this match is more than likely going to be fucking fire. Gunther's going to do his shit. If Gunther loses, which he probably will, who knows? They could swerve us. If he loses, he's going to be fine. He's going to win that title like 5 more fucking times. Gunther's going to be fine.
DT, what you got?
Gunther's story becomes he can't win or retain at WrestleMania if he loses this, which drives his character for WrestleMania season next season. Along with that, there's still 4 more weeks for him to chop the shit out of Jay, beat the shit out of Jay. There's still 4 more weeks for it to happen. So my initial thought as you were talking was like, with Gunther not carrying his weight, my initial thought was, do you think that they're like turning Gunther down a little bit so it looks like Jay is on a more equal level? But then Hero brought up the take that we talked about before and that we've had and we talked about on here of, when someone's persistent with Gunther, he ends up cracking and folding, that's a great little chink in his armor for him to have. But do you think that they need to turn the volume back up on Gunther for the next couple of weeks to get this match there? That's what I think it is. Because right now it feels like it's a shoe-in that Jay's going to win. And he should win. He needs to have that moment. The kids should have that moment. You have, except for the fucking nerds and shit on the internet, you have the buy-in from all the fans. They have a different color Yeet shirt every week. And you see
Every week.
You see hella people in it. You see the kids in the glasses. You see him in the shirts. He has the kids during his entrance. He should win. He's gonna win. But they do need to turn. They need to turn the Gunther volume up a little bit. They need to put some bass and some treble in it for the next 3 weeks.
Right before you answer real quick, there is a slight correction, and Gunther retained WrestleMania 39 against Drew and Sheamus in a 3-way, and he did not leave the ring. So he doesn't have necessarily a record of not winning at WrestleMania. It would be 2 in a row that he did lose a title though. If he does lose this next Mania, it would be 2 in a row. But he did win at WrestleMania 39 in that 3-way.
There was a belt on the line in the 3-way? Because I don't remember it being a belt.
Yeah,
was it IC?
Yeah, it was IC. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then that takes care of that then.
So just a slight, it was for the IC because Drew wanted the IC, Sheamus wanted the IC, obviously because
that's
Sheamus
right, and he was, and he broke the honky tonk record. That's right, yeah,
and that was a fire ass triple threat. They didn't even leave the ring for that. But yeah, anyway, that's just a slight little. I don't even want to say correction because nothing you said was wrong.
No, it's a correction.
Slight asterisk.
Yeah.
Just slight asterisk.
All right, moving along. There was a tag match for Creed Brothers and LWO, but the story with that is Chad is still out here in Lucha Mask. Actually, we don't know if it's Chad. We just know it's somebody out there in Lucha Mask.
It's not Chad.
It's not Chad.
It's El Grande Americano, bro.
El Grande Americano.
Yes.
Venti at Starbucks right now. I don't really have anything yet. I'm letting the story develop. There's nothing really to kind of pick apart here. Just let this one play out. There's a CM, or not CM, but there's a Seth Rollins promo. We could talk about that, but I feel like the bigger story is on the Smackdown side of that. We'll talk about
it was a cool promo. That was it.
Yeah. Braun Breaker, Finn Balor, IC. Overall match. Is there any thoughts, feelings? Nothing. Do we need what?
We knew Finn wasn't going to win it, so No, he got to get
the story back. With this. The story is that Carlito and Dom run interference. Dom ends up dropping the ropes. That ends up causing Finn to lose. So it just further pushes the story between Finn and Dom. Afterwards, we see that Judgment Day is a 3-on-1 at that point. Penta comes out, saves a spot, ends up holding the belt, holding the IC belt, gives it to fucking Braun, and you have this moment between Penta and Braun, like, I'm coming next. The dope part about this is, of course, the hype for Penta, but also the crowd with the ole, Cero Miedo. Like, yeah, he's over. Yeah, bro. It's you got the international crowd doing it. He's out of here. That's going to be it for.
They did the same
what?
for Fatu. Oh, yeah, I mean, international crowds are great. I have
Just
one.
say-
I have one nitpick about international crowds, which I guess I might as well just say now.
Yeah.
Some of them have been acting really weird towards Bianca, and I don't know if it's a race.
I did catch that too.
It's not. I don't
caught
know.
that.
I don't know if it's a race thing.
that.
I kind of want to say it is because there was there was backlash in Puerto Rico when she who she fought? She fought Io, and they were booing the fuck out of Bianca, and it's like Bianca's the face. Like y'all was booing, and then they were booing the fuck out of Bianca on this Raw, and I'm like, like I don't know. It's like. As all three of us being black, and you know, I know like some places treat us a lot differently. I don't know. I'm questioning it.
Black people are universally disliked.
Yes, yes, I do know that.
There's more continents that do not fuck with us than there are that do,
and that's why I'm
the one. Yeah, where we live, they don't even fuck with us.
Right.
There's a quote that I really wanted to get tatted on me when I was like 14. I'm glad I didn't, but I did. Everybody wants to be a nigga, but nobody wants to be a nigga.
Yeah, I'm glad you didn't get that tatted on you. But yes, that is.
But it's so real. It's a real ass quote. But you can't. I can't.
No, you could have done that. It depends on. It depends on where. Like if it's on your rib cage, nigga, that's fine. If it was on your forehead, I'd be like, all right. I'd be like, all right, bro. All right.
All right, we're going to take a quick little break real quick, and when we get back, we're going to jump into Dynamite and Smackdown, and we're going to get the hell out of here. We'll be right back. We are back, people. We'll talk about Dynamite real quick. Not a lot going on in this Dynamite. Solid matches, but overall, they had travel issues. They're in Omaha, Nebraska, and people were not at the show, and you can kind of feel it through the show.
Well,
matches were longer than expected, also.
Yeah, okay, real quick. And this is not to, like, shit on anything. Like they said it would be normal, but like okay, so there was 2 advertised matches for the show, which was the Mercedes match against Billy Starks, and then obviously Cope and Moxley. Other than that, at least in my opinion, from watching this show for the last couple of years, multiple years, it was a pretty regular show. You had Will Ospreay, you had a Will Ospreay match, you had a what the fuck else was on this card? Like to me, it was a regular Dynamite. Like you had the 2 advertised matches, and you had a bunch of regular characters still on the show. You had an MJF promo, you had an Adam Page promo, whether that was in ring or pre-stage, it doesn't matter. So that's like when we were talking before we started recording. I was like, to me, every show was just kind of like, eh. It's like this show. Like it was like labeled on the internet, like, oh, it might be weird. No one's showing up. But it's like everyone who needed to be there was fucking there. So like, what was? Like in hindsight, I wish I could have seen what the card was because, like, to me, this was a regular show. Like you had the Megan Bain, Chris Statlander that was advertised, that happened. You had another women's match. Oh yeah, Mercedes and Bayley Starks. You had the Mox and Copeland shit. You had a Will Starks. Will Ospreay. I don't know. I don't know what was wrong with the show. To me, the show was regular, and it wasn't a bad show. It just wasn't like super crazy good either.
Yeah, it was a very like, okay AEW show. Like wasn't bad by any means, but just standard. And you're right. I don't know what was missing.
It was better than the week before. Also, oh yeah, the opening match, the Fatal 4-Way, that happened. You had every single person who won the match show up.
That was a good match too. That was a pretty solid 4-way match. Mark Davis out there showing his ass off. Like he was actually going crazy. He did a pile driver against Orange Cassidy where he picked him up by his feet. And that shit was pretty dope. Overall though, in this match, this was to determine the number 1 contendership for Kenny Omega's international championship at Dynasty, and ended in a double pinfall. So we have a triple threat.
Who won?
We have a triple threat here.
Who won?
Ricochet won.
Ricochet. With the feet on the rope, yeah.
Okay. And who else?
Yeah.
Ricochet.
Steve-O, Mike Bailey.
You know,
That's all
I
that
know.
matters.
No, I know the answer to the question. Can I get a moment for a second? Just a
Okay.
second. All right. So the last couple of weeks, I've been shitting on Bryce, the referee, which Bryce was the referee of this match.
Okay.
All right. So
If you see Bryce in the airport, I hope y'all have a good conversation.
it's going to be bad. I thought Bryce was the other bald white guy, who I don't like either. But I super don't like Bryce also. And this match proved it. Because how the fuck? Because even the announcers is like, Bryce was looking right at the shoulders. If look at the replay, he was looking straight down at the mat. Otherwise, he would have saw Ricochet's feet were on the rope. He would have saw that even Ricochet even had the pin. Why were you confused, Bryce? Oh, you were confused because you were looking straight at the fucking ground. You fucking... Ugh. Bryce is he's a moron. Bryce is a moron. The other bald white guy's a moron. And I got my beef with Aubrey, but you know what?
There's no beef with Aubrey.
No,
I'll take that hit.
Aubrey,
you got to...
Couple weeks ago was Women's National Month. I'll leave her alone. But Bryce? Nah, bruh. I'm sorry. One of the worst referees ever. Oh,
I ain't never seen somebody have beef with the ref.
He was looking straight at the ground. and then Excalibur or Taz, whoever the fuck, was like, oh, he was looking right at the shoulders. If he was looking right at the shoulders, then he would have saw that there was two people pinning one man. Like, what are we... Bryce, I got smoke for you, sir. Oh, my God.
Smoke for Bryce. When y'all have a conversation, we'll try to squash it at that point. But as of right now, triple threat match is going to happen on Dynasty.
Mm-hmm.
Speedball just got there. Ricochet's in his second big match, or maybe third big match.
Fourth, maybe. Honestly, I don't. He had a number one contender match.
I expect a great match. This is my first time seeing Speedball. I think he only been in AEW for 2 weeks. Before that, he was in like TNA and whatnot. I do like the whole like what looks like the karate style double dragon gimmick, where like that's his movesets and everything. I'm entertained right now. It's okay. I don't have an opinion on him yet. I don't know yet.
DT, do you have an opinion? I have a slight opinion because he did almost kill somebody in this match. Like he was he was standing right on somebody's throat or some shit. I'm like, bro, you don't. If you were 5'11", you probably would have killed that man.
TT, what do you got?
He did. You said, fuck it. He reminded me of Beverly Hills Ninja. I don't know if you remember that.
Chris Farley.
Yeah. That's probably what it is.
Bro,
the Beverly Hills Ninja for sure.
It's that Danielson Karate Kid, bro. Like you got that fucking
double dragon type shit.
He got the double dragon mullet, but with the Karate Kid headband, no shoes.
He high-fiving people with his feet.
And they're not regular feet. They're not taped. Like he running around with shin guards on his feet.
Oh yeah.
And it took me a while to realize he had no shoes on. It took me a while to realize he didn't have no shoes on. And then once I did, I was like, bro, you running around, bro. It's not even, your feet ain't even taped, my G. Like, you running around with your toes out,
lay hands out for high five. You just,
So, yeah, that was wild. But
which, to be fair, if you're new to the show, I don't know about DT, but I gave Matt Riddle shit for that as well. At least
the barefoot shit is crazy.
The barefoot shit is crazy. Same with Solo when he was doing barefoot, which he might still be. I don't know. But he at least tapes his feet a little bit. But high-fiving someone with your foot, Loner, would you let that happen if you're ringside?
Nah, first off, no. Second off, I'm not ringside. I don't like all them people. I'm like in the Sting rafters just watching the game. But never mind. We'll talk about that later. But no, I'm not letting anybody high five me with it.
You don't like to spend money. You just like to have it. You're like Scrooge McDuck. You like to swim in the tub with the coins, but you don't like spending it. I see.
Yeah, actually, kind of on point.
Yeah. No, I see.
Yeah. From here we get the Billy Starks versus Mercedes match. 19, 20-year-old Billy Starks, youngster on the making.
20.
been training with Athena in ROH for a while now. Actually, the number one minion. You can tell it was a good match. You can tell that she is 20. You can tell that there's still some things that are rough around the edges and whatnot, but she's not as green as, you would expect a 20-year-old to be. She's been wrestling since she was like 13, 14, and pretty solid match. I have no knocks. It wasn't like a 5-star. It wasn't a 4-star. It was just a pretty decent outcome.
D2?
I think.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. No, I didn't know you were continuing. My bad.
Oh no. I just have two spots. Billy kicked the fucking Mercedes in this match, and the fucking gut buster that Mercedes did was fucking solid.
She almost killed Mercedes though when he dropped her on her head.
Yeah, when she broke her goddamn neck with that fucking that shit was crazy. I didn't know what the move was called, but
it was called Almost Kill You.
The match was dope. I didn't like Homegirl's pacing, which it shows her age. I think she was amped up to be on that stage, but and I didn't like
wrestling in one of her heroes. There's a lot of context that wasn't explained. Anyway, sorry, continue.
I didn't like the angle of Mercedes' foot breaking the rope, because where the ref was at, you had no visual. You couldn't see the foot. Same thing as Hero called out last match.
Don't say a motherfucking word.
You were looking.
Let this man continue.
You were looking at the shoulders. I saw you. I watched your eyes. How did you see her foot up that high at that angle? I was just like, no, that's not it. That was it.
And then she had to put the foot down another rope just to make the angle look better. Look
better. Yeah, I did see that. I did see that.
Oh god. Yeah. But okay, so as far as the way I saw the match, so I was watching NXT during the day when Billy Starkz was literally just a child hugging Bayley and yelling at Mercedes or Sasha at the time. So like this is Billy Starkz, like, being a quarterback and finally playing Tom Brady or some shit like this was like, if like besides wrestling Bayley, like this is probably the biggest idol that she could ever wrestle, and she held her own. She did really fucking good. I haven't seen too much of her shit because most of it has been on ROH or some random indie show that you can't just look up online unless you really wanted to. Billy Starkz has a future, absolutely. I think her age is not that much of a problem. Being 20 is fine because you got Nick Wayne on the show every goddamn week. You got you can like if they could easily book her like a Roxanne if they wanted to. Roxanne's young as shit too. Like you could if you have Nick Wayne on your show, who's I think also 20. He might be 21 at this point. So you got
she
Nick
wrestles
Wayne,
better than Hook.
She has a lot of training. Billy Starkz is good. My only thing with this whole I didn't like the ending. I didn't like the way that after Mercedes won, she's like still like pushing her head in the shit, because to me that's not getting a talent over. Like she didn't have to shake her hand like what Cope did to Yuta the prior week, like, oh, this is what respect is. She didn't have to do that, but like rubbing her face in the shit and then like tweeting like, oh, whoever trained you was shit. Like I understand, like that
was perfect. Because it sets up. You know what it sets up though.
Yeah, I know what it sets up, but it's still making you like. That's why they're calling you Hogan Monet. That's why they're calling her. That's why they calling him Cope Hogan. Like there's ways to do it. Like she didn't have to do the baby face like, oh, let me shake your hand shit. But she also didn't like have to like hold on to the submission after she already tapped and then like rub her head in the fucking mat. She didn't have to do that part, is what I'm saying. You could still play the heel and still like kick dirt up and then still also talk shit online, but that other part to me is why me and maybe even sometimes DT is giving her slight or discredit to where it's like you're not helping putting this talent over, because like yes, she had a good showing, but then what do you do after the good showing? You make her look like a fucking scrub. That's my personal take on it.
Yeah,
Overall,
because you're 19 and you're coming at like somebody that's supposed to be like the seasoned vet.
but there's a deeper layer to
heel
it. There's a deeper layer to
tactics to it. If there was a deeper layer and it was like personal for sure.
It is personal.
And this is not between Billy and
they can only say so much because AEW doesn't own the rights. But Billy, she was a Bayley stan. Like she was in NXT as a young child before she started wrestling. So we're talking like 12 years old. She was at the NXT Brooklyn match, like the match that like changed women's like she. Like Bayley gave her like a headband and like Mercedes ripped it off and like she like yelled at her. Like there is a history which they did like slightly brief, like they slightly talked about it, but they can only they can only say so much because obviously the other company has the rights.
Right.
But it's just I understand Mercedes' character. It's just like she didn't have to do that with this particular opposition, is what I'm saying. Because again,
it makes it even better though. It's like because you watched the growth. You thought you were good enough to come in the ring and wrestle here. Like, of course, I'm going to show you that that's not your dreams are not reality. You know, like
she didn't even do that to Harley Cameron though, and Harley Cameron was technically in the same position.
But based off the my bad, go ahead, DT.
Real quick, because I thought I seen a tweet, but there was a tweet interaction from between Billy Starks and Bayley where Billy Starks was like, and I'm going to walk away with the TBS championship. And Bayley was like, yeah, beat her ass for me. But you can't, you can't connect those dots. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Big picture wise, if Mercedes does not drop to Athena,
she's not.
I will agree with Mercedes Hogan. You will get it. I will say it on air.
I'm gonna give you an out right here. I'm going to give you an out, and I think you forgot this out that I gave you a while ago. I don't think Mercedes is gonna drop this title because I think TK wants that record to be held by somebody that's in the company. The longest reigning TBS champion is still Jake. The longest, if I'm not mistaken, right? The longest reigning TBS champion is still Jade.
It's Jade, probably. But Jade had it for a while though. Like so again,
I
don't need Mercedes to hold it that long.
You don't, but TK does. You don't, but TK does. It don't matter what you want, matter what we want. If he wants her to hold the belt to get Homegirl name off that, that's your out.
It's something that Vince would do. That's one of the reasons Roman had his title for so long, to break CM Punk shit. You know,
but it's like,
et cetera, et cetera.
There's no reason to. From my perspective, you're right. If TK wants to do it, he's going to do it. But from my perspective, it's like, Athena's been the longest reigning ROH champion. Nobody's been able to fucking touch her. I need her to be the one that takes out Mercedes. That makes the most sense to me.
But to you, ROH means something. And that's not a shot to ROH, but
that's crazy.
It's unless you got a VPN, you cannot watch it. No one knows what's happening. Like
you're right, because nobody knows what the fuck is going on. So if this random person comes up and just beats Mercedes on this pay-per-view, it's like, what the fuck happened?
Okay. Well, AEW fans are smart. Like we know who Athena is. Like Athena,
right?
Like we know who Athena is, but it would still be the same sense where it's like, all right. There's no story. We got this 600-day champion over here, and now she's beating Mercedes, who still has 3 other titles. Like you gotta. Mercedes is more than likely going to win.
I don't need that.
I told you, I'm giving you an out. If she wins, I'm giving you an out, dog. That's your out.
And the out is what again?
The out is that TK wants. Yes, TK wants that record to be. How many days is it? 500 days or something like that?
No, it's been a year. It's been a year.
No. Not.
Oh, how long?
How
long Jade's had?
Yes.
I have no idea.
That's fine, dog.
I have no idea.
It's TBS championship reign.
Yep.
508 days.
Okay.
There's no way. There's no way. No fucking way.
It's highly plausible.
Did she get it? Did she get it almost when she came in? Because it's been a little bit over a year, right? Already.
Yeah, no, it's been.
Yeah, her first match was against Willow. Yeah, so it'll be a year in May. Or Double or Nothing.
I think it's already Yeah, it might. Because she debuted.
I think it was Double or Nothing.
Yeah, no, she debuted in March. So it'll be like a year, like a couple weeks, I think.
So again, next, in November she might drop it.
That's fucking crazy. But I will take her out. I will take her out.
What pay-per-views in November for y'all? I say y'all, but them.
Ooh, I think Full Gear, right? Usually.
Yeah, I think Full Gear's in November.
I think it's usually Full Gear.
So yeah,
we'll see. I got other stuff I want to drop, but
then after that, at some point, her and Tony have to like talk.
That's what I'm saying. Is that like
right? But she's only had 17 matches anyway. That I saw the count somewhere before this match. It
was 16 and 0 or 15. Yeah, she's 16 and 0 officially with 4 titles. So she's not wrestling that often anyway. So you can get her there if that's what he really wants to do. You can get her there, but then Tony either has to hold on to the belt until then, or lose it and get it back, and then.
There's a lot of moving parts. And we'll talk about it when the main event comes. But yeah, I don't need that. There's an MJF promo. MJF basically says he's been looking at MVP's business card, and maybe he's thinking it's time for him to get a clique of his own or join MVP, whatever the case may be. There, says he's not crying over spilled milk no more. He's popping bottles of champagne and whatnot. He says he has his answer for MVP next week. Do we think that he's not joining Hurt? There's no way. But
he's joining Hurt.
You think he's joining Hurt?
He's going to be the Owen Hart when Owen Hart was in Nation Domination.
That's something to laugh at because Owen was actually killing. Like Owen came up with the danger gear. Like that shit was fire. What?
I think he's joining Hurt. He's joining Hurt. He's finally going to get that title back at some point, and then Bobby's going to be like, "All right, I got to take that off of you, big dog."
I don't know.
It's going to be months, and it's going to be months away because I don't think Moxley's going to lose that shit until maybe Texas, and that's maybe. That's a maybe.
I find it weird though because this whole promo and gimmick is that like I don't trust nobody. Last time I trusted somebody, I got bit. So like immediately you jump into like the Hurt Syndicate where all they do is hurt people. They don't have friends. This don't seem smart at all.
Each other, yeah, they're friends with each other. What do you mean?
But he could be using them. Like that's his angle. He could use them.
His angle could be he's using them.
You want to use the angriest motherfuckers? Yes. That's crazy.
Right. He could be using them, but they could be using him.
Yeah. It's a mutually beneficial relationship. All he has to do, I think he can out-talk MVP on the mic. So all he has to do is not necessarily be the louder voice, but make sure that he's the one whose stuff is landing. Depending on how you write this, he could be the one that could be breathing life into Shelton and Bobby and, hey, y'all help me, you know what I'm saying? I got y'all, or whatever the case. He could be the little squeal behind the Hurt Syndicate. Because he's already a fuckboy.
And then he has two bigger guys to hide behind. If you got to play the cowardly heel part for a real quick, it's like,
which is what, yeah.
It's like, I don't fuck you. I don't want to fight. I got two big ass buff milk duds right here to fuck you up right now.
I fear that he gonna cross a line with that shit, bro.
Well, he ain't gonna be no Kanye. Don't worry about it.
No,
you won't.
Well, Bobby don't mind crossing lines clearly. From some of his creative thought processes.
True.
Yeah.
But seeing MJF come out to We Hurt People would be hilarious. With the scarf on and the pinky up.
Christ.
I would watch that.
Jesus Christ.
Honestly, it's low key what his character needs. He needs a revitalization.
We hurt people with the pinky and the scarf. Jesus Christ. The thing is, y'all making too much sense.
He needs that.
And we know that's not how they operate. Y'all make way too much sense right now. it's not going to happen the way y'all want it to. It never does. Anytime we have a logical thought about AEW, it goes completely left.
This is me being semi illogical. This is me being high. This is my high thought right now. If you want to be real about it, and I think it's still going to happen. Owen Hart was not fully. Owen Hart was in Nation of Domination. You don't think MJF could be around some blacks?
Jesus Christ!
Can you not put the S on it?
The S makes it so terrible.
Some
bro.
black Jews and blacks. We built America. That's all. That's
right.
the promo right there. We built this place. We built this city.
He gonna start saying "brother" weird in his promos. Like it's gonna be like a cringe brother.
Yeah, brother. Yeah.
This is not the Hogan brother. He's gonna. You ever
brothers with the hard R is crazy. Brothers with the hard R is nasty work, bro.
No, imagine Max Caster saying it. That's what it. That's
brother. All right,
I'm here with my brothers.
Here with my brothers,
and we hurt people.
And we hurt these.
You fucking marks, TK. We hurt people. Like he's just gonna be doing. Yeah, he's gonna be doing wild shit.
You're not wrong. All right, street fight. Cope. Mox 2 better than 1. I will give him that. Better than one. But
you know why? You know why it was better than 1? Because it didn't start in the ring, so they could get knocked out the ring. It just started outside.
This man, no, fuck that. This man was walking like a Homeward person, just walking in the back. And if you know what, actually no, I don't want to be canceled. If you know what Homeward is. It is what it is. He was walking.
Are you saying him and Yuta sleep on the same side of the street? They got tents next to each other?
No. What I'm saying is that you can't be homeless because if you don't have a home, then your whole world is your home. So then that means you're home more.
Yeah, you skipped over the fuck what I said.
Just come on, let's get the thought out, nigga.
Well,
what we got?
Anyway, the match starts with this man looking like a goddamn henchman number 2 in the first act of Batman, and then Copeland comes out of fucking nowhere, and they start fighting in a truck for a hot second. They bring it to the ring, and then the same match happens. Essentially, for the most part, the same match happens, but it's not the same match because it becomes a Bloodline Rules match. You know why? Because 13 motherfuckers show up. Just like a Bloodline Rules match, just like Neo Mox is following the big Neo, the big, what we call it? The chief,
the Neo chief,
the only chief, the OTC. Okay, look. At the end of the day, this match was stinky. I'm sorry, the match was stinky. The match was not that much different. The only difference is that we get a little more gore. Which, honestly, the gore that we got would not have changed if we still would have got it during the pay-per-view, which was what? It was Revolution. That was right? That was the pay-per-view that was up?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, like, they could have still did the same shit. Like, the bleeding, they weren't bleeding buckets from their head like Tony and Will Ospreay were. So, that's fine. The big spot, the only thing in this match that people are going to remember is the grossest fucking shit. And that's the most controversial shit, which, even if you like violence, some people might still think it's gross. But that's the biggest part of this whole match is that one big spot. But the match starts the same as a Bloodline Moxley match, and it ends the same as a Bloodline Moxley match. The only difference is that one spot, which that one spot divided the wrestling community, at least the wrestling online community.
Which is not real. Once again, people, real.
It's not real. No, it's not real. But gross is also gross.
True. I agree. So here's my thing. Revolution, this match should have been the one that happened at Revolution.
Yeah.
You should have had Death Riders pop up then. That's how it should have happened. We should have had Claudio and all of them come back. It shouldn't have waited like a week later, whatever the case may have been. You are right. the grossest part of the match, what people are going to remember, is this man getting impaled by Spike, which is the bat full of fucking needles and whatnot. However, if we're going to abide by the same rules of social media, this motherfucking clip was everywhere. My brother doesn't watch wrestling at all. He's seen me the clip. He's like, bro, what the fuck is this? And I had to explain to the other group chat. Huh?
Which one? Solomon?
No. Isaiah, my younger brother.
Oh, okay.
How many brothers you got, nigga? Don't answer that. No, I was just kidding.
He hit me. He was like, bro, the fuck is going on here? And I was like, look, it's a gross spot. It shouldn't have happened. You know how like you ever like watching anime, right? And like the anime titties pop up, you gotta explain to your mom like it's not like this all the time.
Yeah,
right?
The fan service. They walk in right at the fan service part.
Yeah, you get slightly embarrassed. I had to explain to my brother, look.
Or when you playing like the old Smackdowns and it's the screensaver and then you just see Tori Wilson and Trish Stratus just like half nude.
I had to clean it up for my brother. Could not know I'm a sicko. All right, he could not know that like that shit is like crazy tight to me. So I had to like explain to him this doesn't happen. This is not a normal thing.
What?
Like don't.
So you're a liar.
Don't do this.
So you're a liar.
Absolutely. My brother cannot know that I'm a sicko. What the hell?
How old is your brother?
You say it's for the sickos every week.
It is.
And you are a sicko.
My brother listens to the pod. If he does, then my bad, bro.
You just lying to
for the sickos.
You just lying to him. That's wild. Yeah. It doesn't happen every week. This
image.
literally happens almost every week.
This one's probably worse than the fucking syringe.
No,
but nah, 1,000%. 1,000%. What?
I don't think. Okay.
I'm struggling.
So
I'm struggling.
I'm gonna say.
I'm struggling.
I'm gonna say no because there was no way that this was intentional. The syringe was intentional.
That was intentional. He suplexed him on the goddamn bat.
Right. It was a planned spot, but the fact that it got stuck
was not planned.
That was not intentional.
Like you'd have literally tried. Okay, all right. Let's just break down. Okay, so bunch of bullshit happens. Again, they fight outside. Moxley's dressed like a wet bandit from Home Alone. Doesn't matter. They're fighting. They get to the ring eventually. Then you get into it. You turn into the exact same match that happened the week prior. Then shit starts happening. People start coming up. Claudio comes out. Pac comes out. Maria Shafir comes out. FTR, Willow, they all come out. Yada, yada, yada. Edge, Cope, he brings out the Spike bat. The same Spike that he beat Christian with during like the TNT title. It was confirmed from sources that I follow that some of them were gimmicked. Not all of them, but some of those little spikes were gimmicked. What wasn't gimmicked, though, was the spot. So he hits him in the back with it, like you would with a chair, and then, Moxley reacts to it. Fucking Cope puts it on the ground, he hits him with a suplex in it, and it's stuck in his back. And
shit was gross.
It was gross as shit. And that's coming from a sicko over there. Like, if the sicko's saying it's gross.
Is it gross? It was gross.
It was, like... It was like if you've seen a Terrifier movie or you just seen any indie horror movie, it was random. It was just kind of like almost random violence. Was it for the story? Yes. If you paid attention to it, it was for the story, but it was also kind of like just random ass violence. And it was to the point where there was a character for Moxley, Wheeler Useless. He comes out, he's trying to pull it out of his back, and he can't do it. And you can easily see Mox say, just go to the spot.
Go do the spot.
Like, you can see him mouth it. Go do the spot. Because Wheeler couldn't even pull it out. Again, showing how useless he is. So Wheeler Useless goes there.
Not the case.
He does his spot, which is just him getting put through a fucking table. Then one of the bald refs finally fucking pulled the thing out. But it was just such a... It was an AEW spot. It was a shock value spot. It's not the first time we saw someone get. We saw people get stapled. We saw the syringe thing. We saw someone get set on fire. We saw someone get hit by a bus, etc., etc.
Fireworks and super kicks.
I mean,
they've done spots like this before.
The pizza,
Darby in the glass,
the pizza thing with the
pizza cutter,
pizza cutter, and then having Domino's show up right after. So that was
fun. I forgot about that.
Yeah, we're not new to that. We're not. If you've been watching, we're not new to this. It's just still. It's like, do we need it? Is it?
Now let me take it over from here. It wasn't needed. It was not needed. I've said in the group chat when I think Nick had sent it to the group chat. It was not needed.
That's right.
It was not needed. It was in Omaha, Nebraska, where nobody was there. It wasn't on a pay-per-view. This was not like it shouldn't have happened there. Okay. This definitely should have, like I said, should have happened in Revolution. And Revolution would have made more sense. You're in LA. You're trying to get the fucking shock value, whatever. Should not have happened in Omaha, Nebraska. It should not have happened on Random Dynamite. I will come out and say that. But it did do its purpose. Like my original point was that my brother sent it to me. It was on TMZ. Everybody's seen this clip. In the world of social media and wrestling, everybody saw it. It's even if you don't like the spot, it did what it was supposed to do, and it got eyes on the goddamn product. That's what for better or for worse. That's what it did. It's a social media game. They should do anti. It's just the opposite of what WWE does.
Right, but it's one of those things where it's like, was it the finish? Like, if you're a wrestling head, was it the finish? But honestly, my biggest gripe with it is that, you just said it. My biggest gripe with it is that, DT, you got to talk because now I just forgot.
Just for context, the street fight has almost 1 million views in 3 days. All 11 minutes on YouTube. It has 976,000 views. So it did what it was supposed to do. The reason why it was so grotesque is because when they tried to pull Spike out of Mox's back, you could see the skin was pulling and twisting. And that's what got people. It was gore porn. That's what it was.
Yeah.
In terms of what I thought about the match, these two motherfuckers was gassed before they made it to the ring. So I don't know if it was because it was super cold in Omaha, but by the time by the time Edge did that whack ass hang from the truck trailer drop kick to Mox, both of them niggas was gassed before they made it out the trailer or the truck. You get in the match. Bunch of shenanigans happened. He called it the Bloodline rules match, but
it was literally
pretty much everyone in the company, it felt like, damn near came out. But what they wanted you to leave with at the end of the match, what they wanted to stick with people was FTR. I don't know the guy, but one of the
FTR
one
Bold.
of the wrestlers
Dax.
in FTR, one of
Dax.
the guys in FTR,
FTR Bold.
essentially turned heel, or just supposedly he didn't want to help Cope up after all the bullshit he went through. So yeah, that's what they wanted, for story purposes. That's what they wanted you to have.
Which is stupid, by the way. So what I just remembered before that, because what DT just brought up is also stupid, because it's similar to what another thing is just going on. Like what they just did with FTR Bald and FTR, it's happening with a different storyline in the same fucking. What storyline is it? It's it literally just happened where it's like someone's just like not happy that you didn't win, so like I'm kind of upset with you. Like you're doing the same storyline in the same company during the same couple months. It does not make any sense. But one of my biggest gripes with this is that, okay, so from what I'm understanding.
Time out.
Yeah.
I gotta fill you in. Because like the FTR stuff, the FTR turn has been happening for weeks now. Bro, that's been on Collision. It's been the whole thing where
the last time we saw them, the last time we saw FTR was they were kidnapped. So, like, you were kidnapped and tied to chairs next to fucking Midnight Express. Why the fuck are you mad that Copeland lost? Last time I saw you, you were tied to a chair.
No. They're not mad at Copeland losing. FTR is FTR is just tired of losing in general. It doesn't have anything to do with FTR. They're tired of being associated with losers. They don't want to lose again. Like it's been a thing that they've been doing with the Undisputed Kingdom and everything like that. It's been happening for weeks now.
Right, but FTR Ball Dax didn't want to pick up Cope because he lost this match because he's just upset with losing. Bro, last time we saw you, you were kidnapped. Who are you to be upset? You got kidnapped. I watched you tied to a chair. You're upset that this man he lost because he got put through tables and chairs and shit. You have no right to be upset. Last time I saw you, you were kidnapped, tied to a chair. Fuck you.
Maybe it's like, why are we here helping him? We are losing ourselves. Why are we here playing the help side to him? We need to focus on us and us winning.
Because you're trying to change the dynamic of the company. Because this guy who never likes to show the fucking championship, who keeps it in a briefcase, he's essentially controlling the whole company. They have the main title and
even more bad.
They have the trio titles. Right.
It's like, why am I fighting this man's fight?
Okay, you don't have to fight.
We've been focusing on the Death Riders fight, and we've lost focus on the tag belts and what we want to do in our division. And now we can't be Undisputed Kingdom. And now, like, what the fuck are we doing?
Okay,
it makes sense in the way at least I think so.
It sort of makes sense, but also at the same time, again, the tag team titles right now is on the fucking Hurt Syndicate. If you want to fuck with those black guys, go ahead and do it, my guy. But last time I saw you were fucking kidnapped to a fucking chair. You were literally taken one. So what the fuck are you upset about?
You also we didn't touch on the fact, and we're in closing. We didn't touch on the fact that the patriarchy showed up. It's like Nick Wayne and them came out and was
which also doesn't make any sense based off of the last week's show.
Yeah, because like exactly that I would have gave you for sure. Because like patriarchy showed up and like the fuck?
Nick Wayne shows up. Nick Wayne shows up / Kip and they help Moxley retain, which doesn't make any sense. Which is so essentially the story that you're trying to say is based off of last week. Fucking Christian and Nick Wayne were about to beef. They were about to box. And then fucking Christian put his mom was like, hey, I'll send you back to fucking Waffle House on the night shift. So then the next week you're going to help Cope retain, even though Cope doesn't have the same numbers that the Death Riders have. So like in theory, in kayfabe, if Christian wanted to finally win this title, in theory, you would want Cope to win because you don't want the Death Riders to hold this goddamn title.
Unless you just really beef with Cope. Unless you really just hate seeing this man in your spot.
Which is
spotlight. Which they haven't explained. That's not even explained. It doesn't make any sense because like you said, the last conversation we had with Nick Wayne or promo and everything and Christian, like none of that makes any sense. That I understand. I don't want to dwell on too long because we really have to get through like
I had one more point, but I already god damn it, I forgot it again. All right, continue.
There's a quick match between Ospreay and Ariel Fox. It's just a filler match, because he wasn't supposed to be on the show. He got on the show.
It was not quick.
Solid match. It was. I mean, they had time, but it doesn't pertain to anything story related as of right now.
No.
There was the Mercedes promo about Billy Starks where she mentions kid had a lot of fight, but who trained her? Whoever trains her, or she needs to be trained better because if I had trained her, she would never have lost or whatever. Once again, tying the Athena to Mercedes. My note on this is I don't need it to happen at Dynasty. I hope it happens at All In, but AEW and Tony will probably put this bitch on Dynasty. Bane versus Stat. Winner faces Tony Storm. Megan Bane wins this one. Bane is being pushed like she's going to be the next champion, and if she does face Tony at Dynasty, I don't think Tony should win. Bane's been squashing and killing everybody she's been running into, and Tony has never faced anybody as strong as Megan Bane, and I need that to be the story here.
Has Megan Bane opened her mouth and said a word?
And that was also gonna be my point to where we don't, as much as they're pushing Megan Bane, we don't know what you sound like, and you also don't have a manager to do the talking for you.
She's been she's tied with Penelope Ford. We don't know why, and Penelope Ford also isn't talking.
They just.
We don't know.
Just jump people.
We don't know.
Yeah, there's no reason. No. There's no reason. There's no rhyme or reason for anything. And that's the thing too. If you're going to be a champion, you got to be able to talk. And that's the only reason why I could also see that they won't let her win it is because you're not personable. You're not talking. We don't know who you are, and we can't have you be a silent champion. Other than that, the matchup wise, I don't think Tony should win, especially with the way they've been pushing Megan Bayne. Like she's been powerhousing and killing everybody.
Tony's going to win because you're setting up for the Tony versus Mercedes match, and also they have not pushed Megan Bayne at all enough for us to believe. Like, she beat up Thunder Rosa. Cool. No one likes Thunder Rosa in this company apparently. She beat up Chris, unfortunately, but like Megan, it's very interesting, and I have like I don't want to ask a question because I don't want to dwell on it, but it's very interesting that Megan Bayne is getting a push very similar to what Camille was supposed to get, but Megan Bayne is getting it, but also without zero context. Like,
yeah,
Camille came up
wrecking shit.
Yeah, like, which is what Camille should have done. She showed up.
Absolutely.
She was wrecking shit for a hot second. She was Mercedes Kevin Nash, and then all of a sudden they started jobbing the fuck out of her, make her look stupid. She disappears, and now Megan Bayne shows up playing that same role a little better based off the booking. But like, how are we supposed to believe that against a Tony who is the first ever four-time and most over character of this entire goddamn company? Like, I don't think she's going to lose it to no Megan.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. AEW is really unpredictable with me when it comes to like predicting how shit goes. But we'll see how it works out. They still got a couple weeks until Dynasty. I believe Dynasty's on like the 16th or some shit like that. So you got like 3-4 weeks or whatever. There is SmackDown. We're gonna talk about SmackDown real quick. Just the mad important shit, I guess.
Not much. Show opens with fucking Randy Orton. He doesn't even get to speak a word. Kevin Owens is trying to bully or buddy up to him, and Randy's like, "Nah, fuck that. The match is official."
We're gonna I just want to punk kick you, pretty much.
Yeah.
Shut up, punk kick. WrestleMania. Be there. Be square.
Yeah.
There was the number one contenders match between, or actually, no, my bad. My notes are out of order.
It's fine. Again,
Priest, Big Jim.
Show was not that good.
Yeah, we'll skip that.
We got a tag match.
Drew, yeah, it's like we're getting Drew's still mad.
We're getting Drew and
Priest. We're getting Drew and Big Jim or Priest. My bad.
Yeah, Big Jim is in the title picture, but it's going to be a second because we'll see. But yeah,
you got to go through he has to go through everything. Tiffy gets fucking killed in her own promo. They're killing her momentum, man.
All right. We need to talk about this for a hot second because last week I was saying, I was like, nah, Charlotte's looking funny to me. She didn't take. There was those 2 fucking moonsaults. She was nowhere near that. Nothing near that. You listen to this promo. Now, I'm not going to say she's trying to bury her, even though
she's killing her.
Even though Nia did like a on some messy shit. She did like a tweet of someone saying like, "Oh, Charlotte's trying to bury this talent." So Nia was being a little messy on that. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to go that far. But as far as me talking to you two, there's no way you can tell me based off of those last 2 moonsaults last week and this promo this week that Charlotte is not acting different, trying to sun her, trying to big sis her. Like it almost seemed like on some 8 Mile shit to where Charlotte almost had her entire script. To where she's like, all right, I'm gonna retort to the and like. Granted, Charlotte is she's amazing on the mic. Like she's a fucking pro. So even if she didn't read the entire quote unquote script or knew what Tiffany was gonna say, like Charlotte is a fucking pro. But the way Charlotte responded to every single thing, the way I don't know it. I low-key feel bad. I low-key somewhat feel bad for Tiffany, but also this is one of those sink or swim moments. You're with a queen. If you can't handle being with the queen, I don't know what we can do with you. But based off this week and based off of last week, all I'm saying is I'm looking at the queen just a little tad differently. I'm not saying it's sabotage. I'm not saying it's burying, but I'm saying it feels a little different. Is what I'm saying. Do any of you guys feel that?
there was a tweet that essentially suggested that Charlotte had switched and ad-libbed what she was supposed to say in her promo to Tiffy, which threw Tiffy off, which was done with the intent to show holes in her game. So that's all I'm going to say, because I didn't bother watching it, but I saw it, and there were specific moments they pointed out. I didn't watch it, but that will just add credence to what Hero said. So,
and I watched it, and when I heard it, you don't need to do that. What's the point of burying like the baby face to make them, look terrible? Like, of course, that's going to make you look good. Like, especially if you're jumping the gun on what the responses was and everything. I don't know. I don't like the promo. Not because of Charlotte doing Charlotte shit. It was just like, damn, like Tiffy don't have no retort. Like every week she's getting ate alive in a storyline that people don't really fucking care about. But it's WrestleMania season. Like you said, if you can't swim, you gotta you gonna drown. So Tiffy got to figure it out.
I would say that she watching the whole thing. She definitely tried her best, but I feel like there was definitely moments where Charlotte,
she said, you find the hottest thing, you pour water on it, and I was like, yeah, Jesus Christ.
And then she was like, "You're not the hottest thing even on SmackDown." And then Tiffany had to go, she resaid what she said, because obviously Tiffany's going off a quote unquote script or going off of what was supposed to be said. And I'm not saying that Charlotte went off a script. I think Charlotte is just really that good, but what I am saying is that maybe Charlotte was really testing this motherfucker. It was
but why? Why not in person? Like, the video conference makes even more of a disconnect. Like, in person, I'm okay, you gonna go off script? I'm gonna go off script, but let's feed off this energy.
In person, she didn't take 2 moonsaults, and y'all was like, "Oh, that's her knees, and I'm like, I don't know, I don't think it is. And based off
Charlotte don't want to play ball. Charlotte just wants her spot.
That's what I was saying last week, and y'all kind of. I'm not saying y'all made me sound crazy or like a conspiracy theory, but I'm just saying based off of what I was saying last week, it was like, oh, she didn't take neither of those moonsaults. She was nowhere near it, and he's like, oh, that's because she was doing her knees. And then you listen to this promo, and I'm like, I don't know, man. I'm not saying she's going into business for herself, but she's definitely testing the young buck where she's like. What? Did I say something wild?
We was trying to call. We was trying to call a timeout because your shit was on just stutter.
So I started hitting.
And so this nigga DT started doing a robot. Like this nigga's being an asshole. I was like, what? Well, okay, all right, we back. Everybody's here. We're good. We're fine. Okay, DT's just being a dick.
Don't cut it. All right, continue.
No. We'll be fine.
Don't
pushing on. Jacob's pissed off at Solo for interrupting his number one contendership, which makes Braun Strowman the number one contender versus LA Knight.
Rightfully so.
We're gonna probably push this Jacob and Solo story. This is probably what's gonna happen here. That we know. Let it play out. We'll see where this goes.
They're probably interference.
Jacob was also pissed off.
Yeah, rightfully so. Because there's no reason why you should interrupt the fucking match.
Yeah, and to be fair, it was. I think Tama came in first, right? Tama was in there jumping on first.
Yeah, but still, no.
And I think this is a way to get Jacob to be face. Because when Jacob versus Solo happens, Jacob is the face. You're not going to boo Jacob Fatu. We all know this is not going to happen.
Yeah, no, we talked about this a couple of weeks ago. Or not a couple of weeks ago, but I don't know. Time is a flat circle. But, yeah, I know. It was
Liv versus Jade. Or my bad. Go ahead, Hero.
No, that was it. I was done with that.
Liv versus Jade happened. This is Jade's first single loss in.
Okay, now I have something to say.
Okay.
Damn, the nigga said 6 words.
Yeah,
Shit.
no.
He could have just kept going.
Because last time because if I'm not mistaken, Jade spoke before the match, right?
She did.
Right. Okay.
Still didn't like it.
Did not like it. That's what I want to say. It was based off of what I was talking about last week. unconvincing. Dog.
It's not good,
Again,
bro. It's not good.
Trying to support black business. Love my black women. I need you to. Well, I don't know what she's doing off screen because she did a lot of tweeting today, which honestly I kind of want to talk about too. But the episode's running long. But man, it's not convincing. It's not convincing. I need you to FaceTime Miz off your off day. I need you to FaceTime Cena, FaceTime Becky Lynch. Like I need you to get these her small conversation with Kathy was so it was not good. That's it.
No.
It was not good.
No.
The match itself, like in ring, she has improved. But also Liv is a fucking beast, and Liv is been one of the best women's wrestlers in the last year and a half in every promotion.
Yeah,
Liv has been fucking goated.
Liv not facing Rhea, it's a completely different little wrestler right now. Like Liv has been getting active, and I've been respecting it. This match we saw Naomi.
Day.
You said what, DT?
Feels like Groundhog Day. We had this exact same dialogue last week, literally to the T.
Yep. This one changes where Naomi approaches. She interferes in the match. Jumps on ringside. On the ring apron or whatever. Distracts Jay. Jay gets hit with Oblivion afterwards and wins the match. Naomi's out there in the caution tape gear, going crazy. Looking like a true heel, and I like it. Once again, we still got to let it play out, but from what I'm seeing, is the intensity's picking up. Still don't think this is a Mania match, but
it could be. It still could be. There's still plenty of time. We'll talk about it. There was people hating the end of the show for whatever the fuck of reason. But there's still plenty of time. And if it does happen, which I really hope it does, it'll be the first ever two black women fighting for a match that doesn't involve a title. And it's just a fucking storyline for WrestleMania. So I really do hope it happens. If it doesn't, I understand it too, because they still want big matches on their Raws and Smackdown. So it's
Mania,
so I'm saying all that to say, for the fans or audience or whatever, don't expect every single title to be defended this Mania. Whether it's the women's IC, whether it's the men's IC, whether it's the US, whatever the fuck, not every title is going to be defended, because there's a reason why they have certain title matches on the main shows, to build that hype, whether it was the EO match or the LA Knight match or the fucking Street Profits. There's a reason why they have title matches off the PLEs. But I personally hope that we get a women's non-title feud that also has two black women. I really do hope that, personally.
Moving right along, tag team match happens with Garza and Street Profits. Street Profits are the new tag team champions. They do a promo beforehand and whatnot. I'm starting the trend of Montez for World Champ on the pod. I just want to throw it out there. We've been oracling and making shit happen with our words. I want Montez as, world champ sometime soon. Or not sometime soon, but in there. Just throw it in the atmosphere.
You think about what you're asking. And what I'm saying is, if they break them up and he goes single, he's going to start losing a little bit before he starts winning. So just think about that, because you're asking for something, and then they're going to have to knock him down to build him up, and he's going to start losing, and then people are going to start complaining about the fact that he's losing. So, because he's not just going to jump straight from, you have too many heavy hitters, and if he's on SmackDown and you're asking him to be a singles wrestler, I don't even know if he's top 10 in terms of importance at the moment. And obviously, where I called for him to get the belt, I called for them to get championships. So just think about what it is exactly that you were asking.
Okay. The Oracle's telling me I got too much dip in my chip. I respect it. He's foreseeing it. He's looking at all the options. He's foreseeing it.
It is because of currently where he's at. It has nothing to do with him. He can talk. He can wrestle. He has charisma. He can dress.
He has the look. He
got the
it's
chip.
there.
He has everything.
It's there.
In order for people to buy in,
we gotta break it down.
Yes. So unless they choose to make him,
and then they have to separate,
which then he would
also
be looking like The Rock. Yes. Yeah.
And as of right now, at least allegedly they're listed as baby faces. So they're still baby faces as of right now.
Oh God. Wait, you good?
I just turned my camera off.
Can you hear us?
No, I can hear you guys.
Okay.
Okay.
I realized I was lagging. I just turned my camera off now just because I felt like I was lagging.
Okay.
Okay. Nope.
Real quick, what'd you say?
About what?
What'd you say during like you being cut off?
Oh,
you were saying about Tez.
About Tez, no, yeah, I think Tez deserves a push. It's one of those things though, like it's essentially similar to what DT said, but on the opposite end to where it's like, yeah, he's going to lose more essentially, but what do you do with Dawkins? You know, not saying that Dawkins can't hold his own, because obviously Dawkins can. Like, he's proven that he is no.
Yeah,
he's no.
We spoke about that.
Yeah, no, he's no Jannetty. But you gotta, like, I don't want them to have a typical like DX breakup. Like, if they break up, then I feel like we got to do a draft or something. But like, also, it's one of those things where it's like, is it one mic or is it Uchiwala? Because for the longest time, for 1,500 plus days or so, you had one crowd saying, give Montez the single push, give Montez the single push. You had a whole other crowd saying, Street Profits need the tag team titles. And they finally got these tag team titles. And then the other crowd that's still saying, like, we need this fucking single push. And it's like, it's one of those things you can't get both. You can't get both. Like, we love the Street Profits. And, like, we need to establish this tag team division, which SmackDown has been doing really well. So then, like, now that we finally get this team that we've wanted to have these titles for 1,500 plus days, we finally get these titles. They have another match tonight, or the other night, and then we get a cool spot, which people are like saying like, oh, he was pulling a Will Ospreay, whatever. We get another cool spot, and then we still and now everyone's still saying like, Montez needs a single push. He needs a single push. Like, these niggas just got the fucking titles. And not every team should break up just because a nigga wants to betray another nigga. Like, you got to make it interesting. Like, you can't. And that's so that's my thing.
Like, that's on the creative team to make it not as predictable as we've seen before. But I do think you can still have ambitions for seeing things happen. Your team can make the playoffs. You still want them to be a champion too, right? Right. So like that can definitely, two things can exist. I do agree that you can, as of the moment, they just have the tag belts. You're not breaking them up right now. I just think people see a lot of potential in Montez. I think he's been getting the Shawn Michael comparisons for years now, and people are like, hey, we want to see him do something with that. Just don't allow this potential to be swallowed up. We've seen it before with Shelton Benjamin and how young Shelton was, and like the gold standard was on top and whatnot. You just don't want a repeat of that. So just capitalize on it. It doesn't have to be now, which is why I said, like, I'm throwing it out there in the air. It doesn't have to happen now. But at some point, I would love to see him in that picture because he has the complete package.
Okay, real quick.
Shawn Michaels had Kevin Nash too, so.
And he's part of DX. But real quick, because before you move on, because it's actually relative. So Street Profits in this match, they showed up to new music, and I say quote unquote music because they actually had this music before when they were with the Pride / Bobby Lashley and B-Fab. Didn't get the craziest reaction, but they still got a reaction. Before that match, we had Zelina Vega and Piper Niven. And Zelina Vega...
Zelina balled out.
The second half was a good match. The first half to me... The first half was too slow. Honestly, the match was too long. Like, that match...
Definitely too long.
No, that match and the Fatu and Braun Strowman match, they were too long. You could have cut both of those in half, and you could have gave this an Andrade or a Carmelo match, but that's me personally. Like, you could have added some more people to the card. because there was a lot of people other than myself that saying the SmackDown was a little bit of a stinker, but who gives a shit about the public opinion? This is our show. This to me, this show was a little bit of a stinker, but and they could have cut it down. We didn't need Fatu and Braun Strowman to have that long of a match, or Zelina and Piper. But again, going back to Piper and Zelina, which is relative to the Street Profits, Zelina shows up. She quote unquote has new music. If you look at it again, no pop, like crickets. So not only is this another regurgitated Def Rebel problem, but it's one of those things to where you don't always have to book, whether it's a new talent or it's an old talent, you don't always just have to book them immediately in a match. Like, we got 2 video vignettes and then she's in a match. Like, they could have showed her last week, I don't know, helping B-Fab or something. Or they could have showed her physically in the ring before this shit. But instead, for the a billionth time, just this year alone, they just pop out people to new music, and then no one's reacting. No one reacted to Finn in the Royal Rumble, and a couple other people during the Rumble. And if you would have had Finn's current music that he's doing now actually show up at the Royal Rumble, because it was not the same music, people would have fucking reacted to him. No one reacted to Zelina Vega, and you expect her to get over. How? And we're talking about
it's impossible.
You're talking about we're talking about a crowd that's not in America that are reacting to everything. They sing songs about everything.
Right.
So it's just, I don't know. I just had to get that.
And don't use that against Zelina either.
No, I'm not. Yeah, and I'm not trying to.
It's not her fault.
No,
not you.
Yeah.
I just mean in general.
That's my whole point of this whole. I just wanted to say that it's the match was good. The first half was in. The second half super picked up. I'm glad Piper got a fucking win. I don't remember the last time Piper got a fucking win, but also you're debuting Zelina on the new show. Maybe all this is to get her back with her husband, or maybe even Andrade. But still, you're showing Zelina with some fucking music that no one even fucking knows.
Yeah.
And
Def Rebel has been a problem for a while now. The internet has been highly critical of that. That's one thing IWC is agreeing on, is that Def Rebel has just been trash. But you're all right. The new music, the no pops, it's hard for fans to connect. But the thing is, a lot of the fans connect with a lot of the old theme songs. Some of them are pretty Triple H taking over. I don't think any of the Def Rebel songs are being popping off like that. Maybe Rhea's. I think Rhea's is a good one, but outside of that, I don't.
I mean, technically, Def
Roman's
Rebel
was
Roman's new one is dope. Def Rebels do have some hits, but they have more misses than hits.
All right. We're gonna knock out this last segment. Punk, Roman, Rollins. Solid promo. Solid game here. I'm okay with the way it ended. I don't expect this to end any other fucking way. There's 3 of the biggest superstars in the fucking world right now. What did you want to happen?
And there was more after the cameras rolled. Also, which
I caught that on. Yeah, I don't know where the camera cut off, but I'll tell you what I seen. Roman pops out first, big pop. Roman is that guy still. Says he screwed over. He says at Royal Rumble, Punk screwed him over, so he screwed CM Punk in Madison Square Garden. That's not it, because at Royal Rumble, Seth Rollins tried to kill him, but it's okay because he returned the favor last week. Huge pop. Audience is really fucking with this. Audience loves Roman on his revenge tour. He says he's taking his time tonight. If anybody wants to come out and confront the tribal chief, let him know. Mr. Burning Down, Mr. Revolutionary pops out, Seth Rollins. Seth tells Roman that he messed up. He doesn't understand how dangerous CM Punk is. Pause. Why is it Seth's job to always try to save somebody from somebody, or save the big bad from the company? It's his thing.
He's not. No. He ain't trying to save nobody. What he's trying to say is nigga, you and I could have handled our beef. That's fine. We got it. But all you had to do is let me kill this other nigga real quick, and it would have been cool. But you interrupted. That's what Seth is like.
That sounds so familiar. I feel like he said that before.
He didn't. He didn't.
I gotta go back. I go back check the tapes.
He didn't.
I feel like he's.
I mean, he might have said it in Brussels, but now he said it with way more passion. Like reins were popping out of his fucking head when he was yelling at Roman. He's like, "Look, you should have just let me finish the job. Like we could have essentially what he's saying is like we could have handled our shit. You and I, we're tied forever. You and I, we're gonna be doing this fucking forever. But we got to kill this fucking cancer. And I had him this fucking close, and then you fucking interrupted. And now look at you, like if you would have let me handle it, you wouldn't even be worrying about your wise man. Because fast forward, CM Punk comes out, he's like, thank you, wise man, for handing your fucking chief on a silver platter. Now
on a platter.
Now wise man's question. Now the chief is questioning his wise man multiple again. And it's like, Roman, as your bro, DT as your bro. If you just let me kill this guy, you wouldn't have to question your wise man. You would have been fine. You wouldn't have to question nobody's faith. It could have just been me and you, PvP 1v1. Now we got to deal with this old nigga that we don't even like, that didn't even want you in the Shield. He didn't even want you in the Shield. I chose you for the Shield. Triple H chose you for the Shield. He didn't even want you in the fucking Shield. And you're mad because he cost you the Royal Rumble, and then all CM Punk's retort is, hey, it's an everyman match. Now what does Roman have to say? Now he has to go be like, oh, well, you're trying to steal my wise man. Nigga, you wouldn't
barred him up too.
You wouldn't even have to say he's trying to steal your wise man. If you would have just let me kill him in the first place.
The nigga said, neither you or Grimace have beat me without one another.
Which Seth was,
I was like,
Seth was wearing blue,
damn.
so clearly Punk is colorblind. Because, nah, he ain't good. How you gonna say Grimace? He's wearing blue. Grimace is purple. Learn your colors, Punk. Old ass nigga.
That nigga's good.
No,
DT, how do we feel about being served up on a platter and then maybe being snitched out by your wise man?
I gotta let it play out. They got another week to build on it. Right now, as crazy as it sounds, I'm not that concerned.
Not that concerned.
You should have not that concerned.
You should have let Seth finish the job. You wouldn't. Now we still got to worry about this favor because your nigga could let my nigga finish his job.
He was gonna have the favor regardless.
We don't know that. Seth, yeah, I mean, technically we do, but let's just say kayfabe wise, Seth was trying to kill this nigga.
Mm-hmm.
Kayfabe wise,
but it wasn't going to happen.
We don't know that. We hit a super stomp. No one's ever kicked out of a super stomp, and Seth didn't even try to pin after a super stomp. He was just contemplating. He was just looking at him. We
talked about for the last 2 or 3 weeks how Punk was invincible. He kicked out of every finisher that every top guy has given him, except for Cody, because Cody hasn't even fought him yet.
But he's never kicked out a super stomp or a super AA or a super spear because he hasn't received the last 2 in a long time.
But he kicked out of a spear, or not a spear. I'm sorry. He kicked out of a AA and a stomp.
Right.
He kicked out of a stomp and some other
GTS.
shit. Yeah,
that's not a super stomp.
He took his own move and super stomp.
Bro, you play 2K. A super stomp is 3 finishers. It's hard to kick out of that.
Unless you got resiliency, then you kick your own and try.
Yes. You're not wrong.
So he got his resiliency, but in short, I'm not yet worried. Obviously, there are pieces that playing on all of the relationship from Punk and Heyman, and they've been playing on it for quite some time. And I think it's a great seed to sow. I think Punk saying, "You and Grimace, the two of you have not beaten me without each other," leads to me thinking potentially that these two will put their beef aside and stomp this nigga Punk out.
And jump this nigga?
Yes. And then they will have their moment in the ring. They'll stand across from each other like they did in Royal Rumble. The crowd will buzz. It'll be loud. and that's them just confirming that we can do this whenever we want, and they should do it because I want to see it. I don't want to have to keep rewatching the Royal Rumble from 2022 or 2021 or whatever the fuck it was. So
it's cool.
That's when he came up with the Shield entrance.
You can watch the Money in the Bank match where Seth wins the title and then Ambrose wins the title like seconds after because he cashes in.
Ambrose doesn't even exist.
Sorry, Jon Moxley.
Yeah. So he's
living his my guy. He has no dog in this fight. This is between you two.
Oh no,
it's crazy how
he has a dog in this fight.
Yeah, he does. Apparently, there's some. He's not happy. But hey, it is what it is. I would like to say it is. I think it's awesome that the three of us each represent a member of the Shield.
Yeah, I said that before we left.
Yeah, believe in the wave.
All right. And with that being said, people, we're going to get out of here. It's been a pretty solid episode. You got a lot to talk about here. We did do a lot of talking here. We will catch you guys in the next one. Apparently, all three of us will be here. And we have some more graps for you next week. Until then, I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.
Too sweet.
Believe in the wave.
Hell!